to the Kenya Rapid Learning event here in Wajir. We are happy to be here. We want to welcome all those who have been able to come. We are giving a few minutes for our colleagues online to register. We have two audiences. We have you here, karibuni sana, and we also have our colleagues who are watching this live. So we have another live audience who we'll be talking to shortly, and you can see on the screens the number of participants. So we are starting in the next 2 minutes, 1 minute, yes. Thank you, and karibuni sana. So hello once again, and karibuni, good morning to everyone who has been able to join us today. I want to say we are glad to have you for this meeting and for finding time. And in the hall here, we have a number of participants. I will just call you out and you wave. Nitawataja kwa majina na mtusalimie. Sawa sawa. Kuna wale wametoka abdi wako. Kina nani wametoka abdi wako? There we go. Karibu sana. Wapi watu wa Eldas? Can you say hello? Who is from Eldas? Nani ametoka Eldas? No. Someone behind there? Okay, karibu sana. Thank you. There I can see you. Gudama? Gudama, karibu mzee. Karibu, thank you. Bute. There we go. Asanti, karibu. Habaswen, watu wa poultry. Thank you. Karibu sana. Alemao. There you go, Alemao. Alafu kuna watu wa Wajir town. Consumers, particularly most of them are consumers who use this water from this plant here. Ni kina nani wametoka hapa Wajir town? Wangapi? Kuna mtu yeyote? I want to see the hand. Okay, I can see 2 hands, 3. Oh, there you go. Karibuni sana. Nani nimesahau? Whom have I forgotten from? Elade, karibu sana. Anyone else? Thank you. And then, of course, we also have our colleagues from the county government. We are very honored to have at least 3 CECs in our midst. I want to just ask CEC Yusuf. I can see you here. Jambo, karibu sana. Yusuf is our CEC for ICT and trade. And then we have CEC Hussein. CEC Hussein, karibu sana. Bwana CEC Education. And of course, we have our CEC for Agriculture and Livestock who is at the podium. He will be speaking to us shortly to invite the CS. And then above that, we also have our colleagues who are in the virtual audience. Can we see our virtual audience? Please turn on your cameras. We want to see you. Turn on your cameras. Yes, I can see. Say hello to us. Can we wave to them? Tuwasalimia pia. Thank you. And there are 55 of them. You can see they are, I think we are almost the same number here. Or are they more than us? Karibuni sana, thank you, welcome wherever you are, and happy to see you. I can see Joshua, Sam, Marceline, Anadi, Jeff. Karibuni sana, Dr. Golisha, karibu sana. And feel most welcome. So today we have our meeting here in Wajir. This is the 3rd meeting out of 5 county learning events. Last week we have had some very fantastic meetings in Isiolo and in Marsabit. And this week we are here in Wajir. On Thursday we have a meeting with our colleagues from Turkana. That will be on 12th. That will be a virtual meeting. And next week we are heading to Garissa for the last county meeting just like this one. Then on 25th, we have one national meeting where we will, this time around at the national meeting, county representatives will be virtual, Watu wa Nairobi will be sitting. So this is how we have arranged the learning events, and we are very happy to be here as usual, and pleased to be at the plant here at Borel, at Wajiwasko compound. Thank you, Bana MD, for allowing us to use the facility and to see what Kenya Rapid has done. So without much ado, I think I just want to highlight two things before we start. The first is quite often a part of Kenya Rapid that we haven't emphasized is something that Kenya Rapid calls business unusual. We have programs on agri-nutrition, access to water, and so on, which are kind of the regular programs that many of our partners run. But Kenya Rapid has two other things that makes it very unique. And one of them is on the trying to work out market-driven solutions for meeting goals on water and sanitation through public-private partnerships and using market players to deliver water for livestock, water for people. So today we are happy to be at the site where Kenya Rapid has had a successful PPP between Wajiwasko and a private company, Borel Light. We will be looking at that sometime later on. And hopefully we will begin to bring out more business unusual stories in this session. So that is really part of the main learning event that we have here, and we are looking forward to an exciting event. So I want to just take the opportunity now to invite the CPSC, the Program Steering Committee Chair, Bwana Bernard Otieno. Bwana Bernard Otieno is going to take us through the first session of the program. Bernard is the Assistant Director for Livestock here in Wajir County. This is the county program, and I want to hand over to him to take us through the next session. Bwana Bernard, karibu. Let's clap for Bernard as he comes. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. First, good morning, everyone. So, first, feel welcome. Welcome to Wajir County for those who are visitors, and for the Wajirians, you are also welcome to this event. Now, Kenya Rapid, this is a 5-year program that the county government of Wajir has been running through a structure that we call CPSC. That is the County Program Steering Committee. As you've heard my name, I'm Bernard Otieno. I'm a Deputy Director. I'm a member of that committee, but today I'm playing the role of the chairman. The chairperson is Hassan, the Director Irrigation, but he's not with us. He's on other official duty outside the county. So I'll give you a brief overview of that. If I start, the membership of that CPSC, we have Director Disaster, Director Humanitarian, Director Agriculture, Director Irrigation, who is the chairperson, Director Livestock, Director Water, Director Trade, and Director Public Health. Why that? It is multi-sectoral, because the program itself is being implemented by the various sectors. There are a lot of elements on public health, there are elements on livestock, elements on agriculture, then trade, and the like. So that's why we have a multi-sectoral steering committee. Number two, Bwana County Secretary, I want to say thank you very much, because the office, that is the CCU for the program, is housed in the county government offices. I don't know if there is any other county that hosts Kenya Rapid in the county government offices. Maybe that is a plus for us that we need to actually appreciate. So please, can we appreciate that the county government has really helped in achieving this project, knowing very well that this thing is for the people of Wajir. This program, as we all know, seeks to achieve 3 objectives. Those objectives are the ones that are being implemented by the various sectors. We are trying as much as possible to achieve those 3 objectives. One of the objectives is a responsive and accountable governance framework. So why do we have that? We are looking to see if we'll have a framework that will enhance operationalization, operations at the county level, so that we ensure that we have sustainable provision of wash and pasture. If I talk about pasture, we know very well livestock is the main economic stay of the people of Wajir. And that's why the program is talking about wash and pasture. The other objective is we see if we can have replicable and sustainable provision of those 2 elements, that's wash and pasture still. And then we need to also, in our objective 3, we needed to have increased access to such wash services and improved rangeland management. So that is why we were looking at all those areas. I'll go straight to some of the key impacts. I'll just highlight a few. I may not highlight all of them. One of the impacts, Jason has just talked about it, is the Wajir water desalination miner. If all of you look at my right-hand side, there is a kiosk there. People are drawing water from that place. And that water is not saline water. It has been desalinated, meaning it is now of a better quality than what we traditionally had. So that is what we are calling desalination, the Wajir water desalination miner. This is done through a PPP model, public-private partnership. And as such, the project worked together with the county government through the Wajuasco. And they got a private partner, Boril. Boril and Wajir County Government, they've invested 50-50 share capital to put that plant. Then they are also, for revenue, they are also sharing 50-50. That's a plus for us. And we are told, we all know that His Excellency the Governor is the one who launched that project on 25th February this year, just before we had this issue of COVID. Today is able to desalinate more than 20,000 liters of water daily. That is very key for us. More than 20,000 liters of water daily. And if we go by the international standards of water consumption, that will mean at least 140 households getting enough water for them on a daily basis, desalinated water. Number 2, still on that issue of water, the program also had another agreement with Wajuasco, where we had also a link with the Maji Milele, On this Majimilele, it was targeting 50 households in Habasweni, and it was also meant to improve access to water. This one is about metering the water, so that we have meters. People are not just drawing water anyhowly. So there's that investment that has also been put through that PPP model. The other impact number 2, is improved food security, food and nutrition security that we've had. We've been trying to promote through the program multiple use of water to improve production, dietary diversification, so that we ensure that the young in our households have better access to more nutritious and diversified diets. That has also been ongoing. And if you go to our various villages, we've been embracing kitchen gardening for the vegetables. So a number of our households have kitchen gardens for kales, spinach, tomatoes, chilies, and the rest. Number 3, we've also been having what we call increased access to sustainable water for livestock and agriculture use. When I say sustainable, what do I mean? Through the program, we've been able to assist communities access water using solar power for abstraction. This is practical in various villages. You go to Dulgub, you go to Karu, you go to Nurgoz, you go to Abdiwako. And my friend from Weladi, he told us something about, he talked about it. So those communities are able to access water for multiple use, irrigation, for livestock, for domestic use, using solar. They don't depend on generators anymore. And what is the impact of that? The impact is reduced cost of the water, because there is reduced maintenance, there is reduced cost in even pumping. So that one, we've also been able to do that. Number 4, we've had something on holistic range management. Around 2016, Oxfam and the county government partnered and did a pilot holistic rangeland management. When Kenya Rapid came, we had discussions through the CPSC. They took over that. And today, a total of 15 rangeland management committees spread across the county have been trained, they've been formed, they've been trained, and they've even been registered. So that is to help us develop grazing plans for them. Then they identify their grazing areas so that they solve issues to do with pasture-related conflicts and have more access to pastures. If I talk about capacity building, there was that county capacity building fund. We were enlightened on that at the CPSC. We took it over, and through the program, we've been having tailor-made training programs for technical staff. Our officers have gone for these trainings. Similarly, we've also had management courses from the county staff, by the county staff being trained on management courses. And these ones came out through what we call a CNA, Capacity Needs Assessment, that was conducted by the Kenya Rapid. And the gaps are what we tried to address. I talked about the public-private partnership. So number 6, I think there is the issue of expanding the PPP model. And in this, there is always that finance that is available to be invested in wash and livestock sector. So this one is targeting small and medium enterprises through capacity building and development linkages with micro institutions. Data management in decision making, a number of boreholes, around 21 boreholes, had sensors installed so that we have that data managed. We know how much water is being extracted from that, because this is just a system. And from that system, we are also able to know when the borehole has broken down. So that one we've also done. There was also something on sanitation and hygiene. Through this program, in partnership with the county government, Department of Health, Public Health, the director, you're here. To date, I think from this program, working with the Department of Health, we've had 26 villages declared ODF free, that is open defecation free. This is to enhance sanitation, improving sanitation services across the communities. Some of these villages, we know Dambas, we know Dela, we know Boa, we know Anole, and the like. So that is what we've done with the program in brief. But if we have time, we can talk more. I talked about in improving nutrition. In Alimau, we know this is where we started with the program. And that was the first place where we had massive production of vegetables. When you looked at the clip when we started, there was a clip that had the shade net. That clip is for that particular farm that we had at that time. And that was launched by, at that time, we had the Swiss ambassador coming to Wajir. We took him to that farm. Waziri Gedi, you were there? You can remember. So through this program, however much it was little, it has done more. Again, you've had all this, we are doing them with the communities. And that's why several members of the communities, you've had Abdewako, you've had Habasweni, Bute, they've been called so that we share, they share with us. We share together what are the achievements, what are the plans for us, what have we done that is different. And then if there is any place that we've gone astray a bit, how can we come back to the right path? I think with that, I can now end at that point. And at this point, it's my pleasure to invite some of our virtual participants to give us just a little remarks. And then from there, we'll continue. So our first virtual speaker, Abdikarim Daoud of SDC. He is joining us live wherever he is. So he will be the first speaker. Abdikarim. Welcome, Abdikarim.
Good morning, good morning.
Morning to you.
Thank you. Thank you for this. Wajir County Secretary, Honorable Abdullahi Hassan, CEC Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries, Honorable Ahmed Sharif, the Managing Director, Wajwasco, Mohammed Usman, other county leadership present, colleagues representing USAID, Millennium Water Alliance, the private sector, other county leadership present, community members, distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdikarim Dawood, representing the Embassy of Switzerland. I'm indeed humbled and excited to take this opportunity to say a few remarks on behalf of the Swiss Development Corporation. The frontier counties face challenges that are unique to pastoral and agro-pastoral communities. These challenges range from climate-induced shocks such as droughts, floods, and now desert locusts, to other long-standing development gaps, including limited critical infrastructure like roads, water, electricity, health and education services, thin markets, and many more. These counties are also currently facing the burden of COVID-19 corona. However, with immense untapped potentials, including agriculture, that is crop and livestock, these counties now more than ever, with devolution, stand a chance to explore opportunities of local and regional development that will contribute to national growth. To achieve this goal, there is need for stronger public, private, and community collaborations and partnerships. As development partners, our role is to support the incremental steps taken by counties to realize their priority development goals in a way that can work for the local context and that leaves no one behind. It is this realization that through Kenya Rapid, Switzerland, US, Millennium Water Alliance, and the private sector, which includes Acacia Water, Sweetsense, IBM, Davis and Shatliff, Maji Milele, KCB Foundation, Coca-Cola, and others, have made collaborative effort to partner with 5 county governments, including the county of Wajir, to support the efforts by the counties to improve service delivery to their people. Kenya Rapid's goal was to create resilient communities by strengthening and improving service delivery in the areas of water and sanitation, livestock, rangelands, nutrition, and agribusiness. The program leveraged on the capacities, technologies, and the finances of the private sector to pilot and test innovative approaches. For example, in the water domain, the program through the private sector championed, like the colleague has said earlier, the use of prepaid meters, borehole sensors, solarization of boreholes, operation and maintenance, and deployment of water treatment technologies, including Wajir County. Counties have played a major role in creating the necessary frame conditions to test these innovations, and equally contributed human and financial resources to deliver the objectives of the program in line with the county development plans. This program was by its design county-owned, county-led and managed with the support of Millennium Water Alliance partners on the ground, such as World Vision in the case of Wajir County. We are happy to join the leadership of Wajir County and all the other stakeholders today to be part of this discussion in order to inform our future partnerships. Switzerland supports the development priorities of the frontier counties as part of its Horn of Africa strategy. We are proud to be associated with Kenya Rapid and all the partners involved, and we hope to continue supporting the gains made through this program thus far. Thank you all, and God bless you. Shukran.
Thank you, Abdikarim. Next, I'll also invite another virtual speaker. That is the USAID representative. Catherine, are you available? Yes. The Deputy Director, Office of Economic Growth and Integration, USAID.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you. Glad you can all hear me well. Habari gani, habari asabui, and assalamu alaikum. Good morning to everyone today. In particular, I would like to recognize Honorable Abdullahi Hassan, County Secretary Wajir, Honorable Ahmed Sharif, County Executive Committee, Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Irrigation, and you, thank you, Chair, Mr. Bernard Otieno from the County Program Steering Committee, Chair, and County Deputy Director, Livestock. Also, thank you to our prior speaker and partner, Abdi Karim Dawood, SDC Deputy Regional Director of International Cooperation, Ms. Doris Kaberia, Chief of Party of the Kenya Rapid Activity, and county government officials and community members. Distinguished guests, to all of you, it really gives me great pleasure today to participate in this Kenya Resilient Arid Lands Partnership for Integrated Development learning event, and the Governor of Wajir County, represented by the Honorable Ahmed Sharif, County Executive Committee, Agriculture, Livestock, and Fisheries, and all of you, members of the county government, program steering group, private sector partners who are present, and community members. As you all know, Kenya Rapid is funded jointly between USAID through our water, sanitation, and hygiene programs and Feed the Future, the Millennium Water Alliance, the Swiss Development Corporation, and the county government of Wajir. I want to recognize also some of our private sector partners who were also mentioned prior, such as the Coca-Cola Africa Foundation, KCB Foundation, Sweet Sense, IBM, Davis and Shirtlift, and Maji Milele. These partners together offer sustainable solutions to community and public challenges, such as increasing access to water and sanitation for people, water for livestock, and rebuilding a healthy rangeland management ecosystem. Now, I want to tell you that I've been doing development work for over half of my life, which to me is amazing when I look back, because it doesn't seem possible. But I want to say that I'm really impressed by Kenya Rapid's successes. And I'm pleased to be part of this program that provides safe water and sanitation services to the county and has built the county capacity to improve service delivery in livestock and rangeland management, including the business unusual examples of the PPP and market-based approaches that Mr. Otieno mentioned prior. Kenya Rapid is a great model, really, of how public and private partners can work closely with county governments and ensure better service delivery. Kenya Rapid partners have also contributed to the enhancement of county capacity in the development of policy, institutional, and legal frameworks to manage the water, sanitation, and hygiene service delivery, water for livestock and livelihoods, and rangeland management. This is critical because, as we know, water really truly is life. In Kenya, approximately 18 million people still do not have access to safe drinking water, and more than 22 million people do not have access to improved sanitation. The United States Global Water Strategy envisions a water-secure world. It has selected 12 priority countries, and I'm happy to say that Kenya is one of them. In order to support Kenya towards achieving self-reliance and water security, it's also important to increase financing and governance that underpin sustainable water and sanitation services. And in this vein, I'd like to recognize the great efforts that the national government of Kenya and the county government of Wajir have put towards the provision of water, which is a basic right under the Kenyan Constitution. The COVID-19 pandemic has further highlighted the great need for sustainable water and sanitation solutions, which help to decrease the spread of this and other diseases. Now at USAID, we've adjusted our approach to working with partners worldwide with a renewed emphasis on building resilience and self-reliance. We call this the journey to self-reliance. We've oriented our strategies so that we're working closer with government partners to achieve locally sustained results. And we are committed to strengthening this kind of collaboration learning, and adaptation with our partners. So working with all of the Kenya Rapid partners, many who are here today, we are very impressed by the initiatives that each of you is spearheading and the true ownership of activities by the county representatives that are talking today. In Wajir, one of the key areas of learning has been public-private partnerships, capacity building, and community-level impacts. The county governments in the 5 Kenya Rapid counties are increasingly allocating more resources to fund water infrastructure development through joint planning and implementation. And Wajir County has been a good example in the whole country by making substantial allocation to the water sector. We applaud you for this. Council of Governors and the Ministry of Water and Irrigation have embraced a framework for intergovernmental relations and coordination in the water sector. And the program has rolled out a complaints and a feedback mechanism. These are strides in the right direction, and we're keen to build on these lessons. So Kenya Rapid is part of USAID's larger resilience effort in northern Kenya. Many of you know this as PREG, the Partnership for Resilience and Economic Growth. And we place a great emphasis on layering, sequencing, and integrating both humanitarian and development assistance. And this is aimed at enabling communities to be more resilient to shocks, such as the multiple shocks like the locust invasion, droughts, and livestock diseases that Wajir and the larger northern Kenya have been dealing with, in addition to COVID-19. So at this point, I'd like to end my remarks because really this is about recognizing the learning and the successes that you all are sharing today. I am proud to be associated with a program that demonstrates a strong partnership between the United States, the county government of Wajir, the Swiss government, the private sector, and the Kenyan people. As we engage in these learning discussions, I hope we can all focus on sharing and learning from one another, and with a commitment to collaborate as partners. We are keen to learn with all of you, to share knowledge, to hear and to listen to community voices across the county. The lessons learned today will not only lead to improving service delivery and WASH outcomes, but it will help rebuild healthy rangeland management ecosystems and deliver benefits to youth, women, and the rural poor. Thank you so much. And for this, I turn it back to the chair.
Thank you, Madam Catherine. I said in the beginning that this is a learning event, and the objectives are spelled out in the program that you've been given. That is one, to share the implementation experience. So we'll not be taking a lot of time. On the first page of that, the 3 objectives are really highlighted very well. Our next speaker I'll invite is the CEC, Department of Agriculture, Livestock, Irrigation, Fisheries, and Alternative Livelihoods, to make his brief remarks. And thereafter, Bwana CEC, you will also invite the County Secretary. Thank you and welcome.
Bwana County Secretary, my distinguished colleagues, other VIPs, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. I wish to take this opportunity to welcome our guests from both within the county and outside, including those who are on with us in the virtual meetings. I really thank KREP for the assistance they are giving us, especially in the food security sector. One of the areas which we have partnered in well is on the area of capacity building. The other one is setting up of the irrigation infrastructure. And this has led to increased food production in this county. As you know, food security is a very important issue in the livelihoods. Actually, if there is no food, even insecurity will increase, because they say a hungry person is very dangerous. With increased food security, even things like nutritional diseases will reduce, thus contributing to other sectors in their core mandates. The objective of agriculture actually is to boost incomes. It should be seen that agriculture is boosting the incomes of the rural communities. It should not be just a matter of doing this for occupation. It should be something that will be used to generate income and improve the livelihoods of the people. Actually, we are in the process of partnering with our stakeholders in order to assess food production potential of this county with a view to buying the same food from our farmers for increased income. We are even partnering with the Department of Education so that they can buy food for the ECDEs instead of buying from another county or outside the county. This will not only increase income to our farmers, but will also motivate them. We are in the process of making an inventory of all the partners in the county with a view to reducing duplication of the various activities. We want to know which partner is in which area, which sub-county, which ward, and the activities they are engaging in, so that we don't have duplication. We don't have a situation where some wards do not have any assistance while others are being served by a lot of other partners. We want to have equity in giving support in this county. Also, there is a locust invasion which has been reported, unfortunately. You see, Wajir did very well in controlling the locusts last time because we had those pests only for 4 months. But counties like Samburu are still struggling. Almost 1 year along the line, they are still having those pests. Unfortunately, we are also hearing that these insects are coming and invading from the Somalia side, and they are already in Mandera. So we are asking all our communities, the staff, including the ones of the national government, to be on the lookout for these pests so that we can tackle them in good time. I'm sure we have more experience this time round than we had before, so we'll be able to deal with them accordingly. I think with these few remarks, I say thank you very much, and I take this opportunity to welcome our county secretary to address us. Thank you very much.
Okay. I wish to share with you the remarks of His Excellency the Governor, who wished to be here, but unfortunately, because of other national commitments, could not make it. Him and the Deputy Governor of the county. I want to begin foremost by acknowledging our virtual participants. That is led by Abdikarim Dawood of the Swiss Development Corporation, Madam Catherine of USAID, our County Executive Committee members present here, our CEC Agriculture, Mr. Sharif, CEC Education, Mr. Hussein, our CEC, ICT and Trade, Mr. Yusuf, Chief of SARS, the host CEO of Wajwasco, we gladly thank him for hosting us, and other senior members of the county. I can just pick on the Chief of SAR Agriculture, who is here, Abdi. I could see the Chief of SAR Public Health, Mr. Adan Umar, and a host of other county officials, including the Deputy County Secretary in charge of liaison services. The Chief of Party Kenya Rapid, Madam Doris, and other members or other staff of the program, Facilitator Jason, other collaborators in the event. I can immediately pick the Deputy Chief of Party, Mr. Somo of RLA, World Vision International, community representatives drawn from all over the county, Abdiwako, Eldas, Alimao, Weladi, Wajir Town. Distinguished guests, good morning.
Morning to you.
From the onset, we are honored as a county to participate in this unique learning event during the COVID-19 pandemic, signifying our unlimited capacity as people and as a government to make the wheel of development to proceed despite the very hard conditions we are in. And this meeting is very unique in the sense that there is a lot of richness provided by both the virtual and the physical attendance. Also, we want to we wish to acknowledge the continued support we received from our bilateral partners, that is USAID and SDC, who are the main donors for the Kenya Resilient Arid Lands Partnership for Integrated Development. We do recognize that Kenya Rapid Program is a 5-year development program that has successfully brought together public and private sector institutions to work towards increasing access to water and sanitation for people, water for livestock, and to rebuild a healthy rangeland management ecosystem. In the last 5 years, we established a strong partnership with Kenya Rapid Program with a view to foster a strong leadership and long-term sustainability. The program is also aligned to the End and Drought Emergencies Common Program framework of the Government of Kenya, which focuses on enhancing sustainable management of rangelands, water, crops, and increasing contribution of livestock to pastoral economy to promote resilient livelihoods in arid and semi-arid lands. The program seeks to achieve 3 strategic objectives which were outlined earlier by the chairman. And I just want to mention in passing the 3 being putting in place a responsive and accountable governance framework at the county level so as to ensure sustainable provision of wash and pasture, establishing replicable and scalable business models for sustainable wash and livestock services, increased access to sustainable wash services, and improved rangeland management. We are happy to note that through the partnership with the Kenya Rapid Program, we made various key achievements, and there are many, so I just want to mention a few of them, beginning with the one that is current on the table of the Assembly, where we jointly developed a water sector policy and bill, which have been subjected to public participation and now is awaiting passage of the County Assembly. Capacity building under the framework of the County Capacity Building Fund to various staff and even managers. I'm aware and I'm a beneficiary of this the senior management course, which was supported through this program. So we want to proudly say many of the county staff, over 50 of us, benefited in the departments of water, agriculture, livestock, and even the executive, so as to coordinate properly the capacity of the county staff. Through private sector engagement, the program has promoted investment by private sector in development of community projects in the water sector. Apparently, through the program, we have initiated and operationalized one such model in the provision of safe drinking water, the desalination unit, which is right here. This is one of the milestone stories of Wajir County. Whenever BBB model is mentioned, we put our heads high because of this program that supplies safe water to about 20,000 liters a day to many of our very deserving residents. I'm aware also with the support from SweetSense, a total of 21 sensors have to date been installed in boreholes to enhance real-time monitoring of the operations and functionality. The continued communication flow has enabled full adoption of solutions that have improved transparency in revenue collection, governance, and efficiency. Turnaround time for repair has been reduced, thereby upscaling the efficiency of the services. The county is now equipped with a trained local technician on borehole sensors functionality, data, and information needed to make appropriate decisions that has ensured the availability of water throughout the year to communities. Some 30 more boreholes under the management of Wajir have been identified for sensors installation with support from SweetSense. Communities that are also represented here increased their access to sustainable wash services and improved rangeland management. The program has provided access to drinking water to a total of 108,000 people in 15 villages across the county through various interventions, which include 13 boreholes equipped with solar systems, 9 boreholes supported with elevated steel tanks, 19.6 kilometers pipeline extension in 7 villages, and 11 water kiosks. Surely that is not a mean achievement. We need to applaud Kenya Rapid Program for those interventions. Through the program, and so as to reduce the impact of drought, we have supported the establishment and training of 15 rangeland management committees who are actively responsible in regulating the use of natural resources as well as conflict resolution. A total of 582 farmers have realized increased production as a result of these improved technologies. Apparently, local production is adequate to meet vegetable demand of the farming households who own kitchen gardens. We also developed jointly a complaint and feedback mechanism which is being utilized by the Water Department and Wajir. Cases of borehole breakdown received from various sub-counties have been recorded and forwarded using the complaint feedback tool provided by the program. The program, in partnership with the County Department of Health, and the director is a witness and a living testimony to that, has to date managed to declare 26 villages as open defecation free. Director? Wonderful. And the Kato is also here, the County Public Health Officer. Thank you so much for that partnership. These villages are located in Dambas, in Tarbaj Sub-County, Dela in Alda Sub-County, Boa in Wajir West Sub-County, Anole and Horoto. That again shows the spread and the equitable distribution of these projects. To enhance sanitation standards in schools and reduce congestion, and to prevent open defecation, we managed to construct and rehabilitate 120 institutional latrines in public schools and hospitals. All the facilities have been installed with a hand washing station, which has promoted hand washing behaviors among the school children. We are therefore grateful to the donors, USAID and SDC in particular, other development partners including Millennium Water Alliance and World Vision Kenya, together with the private sector partners, I have in mind Boril Light, for the commitment and contribution towards the development agenda in the county. The county government of Wajir remains committed to ensuring the gains from the Kenya Rapid Program are sustained and propped so as to make sure we do not leave anybody behind as the SDG overriding goal. As I conclude, I will urge the development partners in the county to support in the control of the COVID-19 pandemic that is now on a relapse. through, foremost, compliance to the protocol on the containment of the disease. And I want to thank the organizers for providing enough masks, for ensuring we keep to the social distance. But then again, we need to upscale and ensure together we contain this disease. And secondly, closing the gaps that the county alone cannot adequately address. So the county is doing its best, but definitely there are gaps. We will also appeal we do that together. With these few remarks, I now declare the learning event formally open. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
Thank you, County Secretary. I think we need to give a better clap to the County Secretary. That clap was for tujitayarishe kwanza. Tunataka tumpatie tu moja ile mzuri. So can we tutengeneze? Alafu tukipeana tunapeana kwake. So you don't just clap, unapeleka kwake. Ready. Tupeane.
Thank you. I receive.
Thank you. I think we are good and we are managing our time very well. As you've heard, Kenya Rapid has done a lot. We'll hear from the beneficiaries also. And now, it is my humble pleasure to invite our next facilitator, Madam Honorable Tia Galgalo, to come and take us through the next bit of this session. Thank you. Karibu sana.
Assalamu alaikum. I hope you are enjoying the sessions. Natarajia mnafuatilia zaidi vile tunaendelea kuongea hapa. Hapa mbele yenu tumekuwa na viongozi wa county. Wametuelezea vile program imeweza kusaidia county. County Secretary amesummarize kila kitu. Tumesikia vizuri. Kwa sahihi ningependa kuchukua nafasi hii kuinvite Doris. Mnajua Doris vizuri sana. You know Doris? Doris Kaberia. Ndio, she's been coordinating the program. She's been crisscrossing the county. Nafikiri ametembea zaidi kwa county yote 5. Wajir ikiwa moja wao. Penye tulienda pale kwa Isiolo na Marsabit, tulisikia naitwa mama maji. Ni ukweli? Ni wangapi wanasema yeye anaitwa mama maji? Kwa hivyo we are going to invite Doris to come and speak to us. And Doris anaitwa mama maji. Karibu. Wacha tumpigie makofi akikuja kuongea. 1, 2, 3. Doris, you're most welcome.
Thank you, Honorable Tia. Today, I'm very happy to be here in Wajir County. I want to take this opportunity to thank the representative of the governor of Wajir County, Mohammed, by the county secretary, our able county secretary, Abdullahi Hassan, who is even a personal friend and who has taught me a lot through these past 5 years. I want to recognize the presence of the CEC, livestock, agriculture, fisheries, and alternative livelihoods, Honorable Sheriff. Thank you, and karibu sana to the Kenya Rapid Learning Event. All CECs present, including Honorable Yusuf Gendi, who actually is one of the founder CECs that designed Kenya Rapid back in 2013 when the counties took over the water service delivery. I can't fail to recognize our able CEC in charge of education, vocational training. The list is long. Yes, Hassan, Hussein. Thank you for being with us. All the chief officers present. Kato, I can see you there. I see representative also of the county assembly members. I see Millennium Water Alliance colleagues, the World Vision that has been leading this program here. The national office today is being represented by Chiwe. Our friends and donors, bilateral donors, USAID team online virtually because of this new normal being led by Catherine. The Swiss Development Corporation being led by Abdi Karim. My good friends and family, the Resilience family, the PREG partners, that we have been working together with these past 5 years. We can't forget to acknowledge you because you have walked this journey to self-reliance with us. Kenya Rapid, as every speaker has very well spoken right here, is actually a partnership. It's a collaboration. The Millennium Water Alliance, our work is to convene opportunities. Our work is to ensure that we bring the public-private sector partners to work together. And why are we doing this? Right here in Wajir, as I introduce a video that is going to give you a snapshot of what Kenya Rapid has done for the last 5 years, I just want to quote a very popular inventor. We are talking about private sector innovation today with Boreal Light, who is Henry Ford. He's an American inventor. I know you all know pickups, Ford cars, yeah? I think one time I had the opportunity to visit Michigan, Detroit, and I learned they make 1,200 cars, that Ford F500 and something, 1,200 per day. And his words resonate very well with another American author, historian, also called Edward Everett Hale. These two men spoke these words in 1800 to 1900, but they really resonate with the work we are doing today that brings Kenya Rapid 20 partners together. And the ones are, coming together is beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. What a pleasant day for me to be here right in Wajir County to learn the success that Kenya Rapid has brought along over the past 5 years. And as you can see from our theme here, we are here to connect. We are here to commit and also to act. The reason why I relate this theme with building resilience with ASAL communities with Henry Ford word is because, you know, partnership is hard. Those who are in the resilience family know partners want to compete. They want to show off. Some of us can't keep their ego down. But with Kenya Rapid, bringing the public sector, who are the 5 county governments, and 2 big ministries, the Ministry of Devolution and Planning, and the NDMA representing that ministry, as well as Ministry of Water. Those are 7 different, I would say, entities. And over 10 private sector partners that have been mentioned here, like Coca-Cola Foundation, KCB Foundation, Davies and Shatcliffe, Acacia Water, IBM, Sweet Sense, Maji Milele. The list is long. And our able Millennium Water Alliance members who happen to be international NGOs, World Vision being the lead here, while CARE is leading in Garissa, Catholic Relief Services is leading in Isiolo, and Turkana, while Food for the Hungry is leading in Marsabit County. The country directors are represented here today, but virtually we acknowledge the support. We don't take it for granted that the county has hosted us in their office. We would be paying rent. We would be paying for water. We would be paying electricity. That is a contribution. Now, I just want to say that the reason why Kenya Rapid was designed in 2015, actually it took us 18 months to design this program, is because we realized together with these 20 partners, we used to be 21, that government cannot go it alone. The reason why government cannot go it alone, we realize you have billions of dollars. Yes, that is true. But money is necessary. Money is important, but it is not the only thing you need to make a transformative impact. So in the video, you will be able to see different aspects of what Kenya Rapid has achieved. And what you'll realize is that each of the 20 partners that are forming part of Kenya Rapid are actually bringing money, like USAID and SDC. It could be development assistance, and other private sector partners like Coca-Cola Foundation and Vito Foundation are bringing in what we call corporate social responsibility, which is also money that they take care of environment. I think most of you may not be aware, the Coke that you drink, 3/4 of that is actually water. And so Coca-Cola is giving back the water that they are abstracting. And service providers like Davis and Shatleaf that is supplying pumps or solar panels in this county. Or Omaji Milele, that is a small medium enterprise, and through this USAID Global Development Alliance that allows private sector, small medium enterprises to get tested, to thrive. That's how we are able to work with Sweet Sense, Maji Milele, and IBM, as well as Acacia Water, to look at a most feasible way of delivering water through data-driven decision-making. Now, as you may be aware, Millennium Water Alliance, with our 18 members globally, in Kenya, the 4 members, CARE, World Vision, Food for the Hungry, and Catholic Relief Services, are the ones that are implementing this program, and you'll see a video of World Vision working right here in Wajir. Actually, we realized where we will make the biggest impact is to catalyze public and private sector investment. And so what a pleasant, I would say, opportunity that we have right here in Wajir to look at some of the innovations like Boreolite. I can tell you very freely for now, and you can quote me. Actually, when I tell people, and Honorable Tia, thank you for calling me Mama Maji, but I'm even happier to be called Mama Cho. Right here in Wajir, I tell people, you are sitting on a gold mine. Shit is a big business. You didn't know. And I tell the county assembly, what is the business with the shit? There is a business case. Today you will hear from Sanitation, a small medium enterprise also that is working in Naivasha. When we came with them here in Wajir 5 years ago, people said it's not possible to work with the shit because of Sharia issues. Today you will hear some story. I welcome you to listen to these stories. And I also want to say that for us to make an impactful transformation, whether you are a development partner, whether you are a private sector, whether you are a government official, just remember, anytime you sleep and wake up to serve the community, just remember the words of our great statesman called Professor, our Vice President, Saitoti, yes, Professor Saitoti. One time he was chased away from Kanu, and right in Kasarani, he told people there come a time when the nation is greater than the interest of an individual. As I welcome you to see this video right here in Wajir, we have some unfinished business. You all know that. We have been talking about water bill for the last 7 years. Do we have to talk about the water bill for the last 7 years? No. All other 4 counties have passed their bill. I know you know what I'm talking about because we have talked about this several times. So let's put our interest second and interest of Wajir first. Let's have Fatuma, let's have Ibrahim, Hamed, Hussein in every 6 sub-county that we work with. And what a pleasant opportunity to have both the county government, legislative arm, and the executive arm working together to drive county-led, county-managed, county-driven program. So welcome. This video is going to be only 5 minutes, but it's going to give you a glimpse of what Kenya Rapid has been doing for the last 5 years. Karibuni sana. The challenges that we face in the water sector in Kenya are not actually unique to only Kenya. as a country. But if you look at the sub-Saharan Africa, Kenya has the third highest number of people that use contaminated water bodies. According to 2019 Water Sanitation and Hygiene Monitoring Report by World Health Organization and UNICEF, the number of people that had access to safe drinking water was only at 59%, while those that had access to safe and basic sanitation was only at 29%. We know that globally, the wash-related diseases are among the leading causes of death for children under 5. Through the leadership of Millennium Water Alliance in Kenya, USAID, the Swiss Development Corporation, private sector partners like Coca-Cola, Vito Foundation, Davies and Chatleaf, IBM Research, Sweet Sense, and Acacia Water, we are working together with Millennium Water Alliance members like CARE, Food for the Hungry, Catholic Relief Services, and World Vision in the northern part of Kenya, addressing the most basic access to water. We are contributing to improvement of access to safe water in these 5 counties. The 5 counties are Garissa, Isiolo, Marsabit, Wajir, and Turkana, as well as working with private sector partners to develop scalable and replicable business models using the market-driven systems, and working with communities, especially the elders. In Kenya, Millennium Water Alliance is leading a 5-year, $35.5 million program called Kenya Resilient Arid Lands Partnership for Integrated Development, coined Kenya Rapid, which is, according to USAID, a global development alliance, or in Kenya what we call public-private partnerships, that brings the USAID, the Swiss Development Corporation, private sector partners, MWA members like CARE, Catholic Relief Services, World Vision, and Food for the Hungry, convince, under the leadership of Millennium Water Alliance, in the arid lands counties in northern Kenya. The program actually combines the assets and the experiences of development actors and private and public institutions at county and national level by leveraging their capital and investments, innovations, and access to market to address the complex problems in the water, sanitation, and hygiene sector that actually culminates in inadequate water access and poor governance of natural resources in the arid and semi-arid lands. Now, throughout these 5 years, we have worked with these communities to build their capacities towards journey to self-reliance, and so far, we have reached over 460,000 people, actually having surpassed the target of 450,000 people. As we look towards the next steps for Kenya Rapid, we want to ensure that we scale up the private sector models that have worked. We use market systems and we build the capacity of the local governments at national level and the county level to be able to drive their own national agenda.
Thank you, Doris, for your speech and also for the video. Now I'll take a few minutes just to highlight on what our guest speakers have already said. As communities, we've seen the county government confirming the project that has been going on across the county. They've shown how the projects have been spread out in different sub-counties and different communities around the Wajir. We've seen the real impact of this, and we've seen fresh foods that have been grown by communities in Wajir County. We've seen improved nutrition from vegetables and all the fresh food that have been grown by communities. We've also seen and heard about improved security and training for the ranger and management committees. You know that we are all pastoralists and we mostly rely on ranger and management, and without proper training and ranger and management, we know there's quite a lot of conflict. We've seen increased revenue. We've also received speech from our development partners, especially from USAID and also SDC. They were very excited to see the impact and the smile on their community faces. We've seen also and happy. Nafikiri ya kwamba tungependa kushukuru kwanza Wajir County for the increased revenue allocation to water. Nimeambia it's one of the best in the country, and we need to appreciate Wajir County. The county secretary, please take our appreciation to the governor for allocating more money to water sector, and we need to clap for this county. I think from our presentation by Doris, she's shown how she's been crisscrossing the counties, what she's been doing in Wajir County and other counties, and its evidence is through the video. So can we appreciate all our speakers, both online and those who are here, and for those who've spoken and those who've not spoken. Kwa hivyo, can we appreciate them? Thank you all for coming on board. For now, we are going into our next session, and the next session is we are going to have community dialogue. We've been talking, and we want to hear the community voices. And I'm going to divide you into 3 groups. On my extreme right, we have the first group. So on your table, there's group number 1. Please confirm you have the group number on your table, group number 1. Yeah? Show our online participants that we have group number 1. That's group number 1. We have group number 2 in the middle here. And I want you to pick the number so that at least our online participant can as well see the group. Yes, that's group number 2. We have group number 3. The middle here, we have the number on the table. Please, yes, show the numbers. Thank you. So we'll go into the group discussion, and this group discussion will take 25 minutes. So I want you to identify one person who will be picking the points and doing presentation after the group work. We'll also have 15 minutes 5 minutes for each of the groups to do presentation. And finally, we'll have another 15 minutes for plenary discussion. I hope you've understood that. For purpose of our digital participants, I would want to say that we'll have series of videos that will show the impacts of the projects supported by Kenya Rapid, so that you'll also be able to interact with the videos. So we'll have series of the videos that will be played, so that you'll be able to also follow what is happening. We'll also have, maybe later for the group discussion, we'll be able to bring a virtual participant on board for you to be able also to hear the community voices and what they are saying about the project. So for group work, please identify a softboard in each of the groups. And on the softboard, we've pinned the Kenya Rapid Wajir Learning Activity outcomes. So we have access to water for livestock and crop production and domestic use. We also have the other outcome is on reduction of cost of drinking water. And number 3, we have availability of fresh food in the markets. On the side, we have the ranking. So I want you to agree as a community to rank or to give the project with the best impact, the middle impact, and the lowest impact. So on the softboard, we have 3 different colors of pins. So for the highest, you'll put one color. For the second, you'll put the next color, and you'll be able to have the chart showing number 1, number 2, number 3 in terms of impact. So if you have any question, you'll be able to handle that at the group level. We have a flip chart we'll be able to give to the representative of the groups. So the group work begins now. Thank you.
World Vision Kenya's WASH program started in 2011. And over those years, we've managed to reach over 2 million people with access to safe water, sanitation, and hygiene. Through that, we have realized the change and the shift even towards issues of health, where there has been improved nutrition in households. In the areas of, let's say, Wajir, find that there is a big need for water, not only for drinking and food, but also for production of food.
And therefore, Kenya Rapid, through the support of the County Department of Agriculture, we developed modern technology to introduce pastoralists into agro-pastoralism way of life. And we are using a technology called agronets that are adaptable to the high temperatures for the farmers to produce vegetable, to produce high-value crops, so that the children can get nutritious food. The other key component on multiple use of water is that to reduce the cost of running boreholes, we have done hybrid solar systems that are now operating on solar systems and the generators. And we have done 14 boreholes are now operating with the solar hybrid system. And this has reduced the cost of operating boreholes significantly. Under strategic objective 2, we are focusing on replicable and scalable business models. And this is where we bring in a public and private partnership. In partnership with the county government, we were able to install the desalination system that is producing 20,000 liters a day. This has made life more easier for the residents of Wajir town.
One of the benefits of the public and private partnership, which we are very keen on, is the sustainability aspect of it. And our key role, apart from ensuring that the system is running, is to pass the technology to the local communities around and also establish the business model. By this, what I mean is that we are training local people in the operation of the system, maintenance of the system as well, and also teaching them the business model aspect of it. There are people who are buying water and are able to sell it at a better rate. By consuming this clean, hygiene drinking water, we are, in a way or indirectly, ensuring that people are saving money that they will have otherwise used to go to hospitals to seek medication.
We have done this in line with the SDGs, number 6, specifically 6.1 and 6.2, where we want to ensure that the communities have access to sustained clean water as well as safe sanitation in the communities.
It's a drought, you can see. In Kenya, more than 3 million people are expected to face crisis in the next few months. In places like Wajir County, where families' incomes depend on grazing livestock, the implications of the drought are life-threatening.
Pastoralists have taken their livestock in search of water and food, leaving behind mothers to take care of their children. And because of Kenya Rapid, they can.
Kenya Rapid is funded by USAID and the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation, and led by the Millennium Water Alliance in partnership with Catholic Relief Services, Care Kenya, Food for the Hungry, and World Vision. It covers 5 counties. Kenya Rapid is unique in how it connects NGOs to county leaders. They sit in the same offices. This creates trust, better communications, and shared goals. Kenya Rapid partners with the private sector as well. The private sector provides knowledge that the NGOs and the county government may not have. In Wajir County, a private company, Boreal Light, is putting in a system to desalinate the water to make it drinkable.
The arrangement of having partnership between government, private, and the NGO is a big plus. And one of the biggest advantages to ensure sustainability of a project.
Right now, when cholera is taking lives in Wajir County, private partners provide critical technology to address needs like clean water.
Water is our greatest challenge. That's why Kenya Rapid focuses on multiple use of water. Water for domestic use, livestock, and agriculture.
The multi-pronged approach is working.
This is my third time visiting the Kenya Rapid project. I can really say I have seen a great impact and difference already on the ground, especially for the women and their young children. I can say we have brought great and tangible transformation to this community.
Fauzia is one of the women who has benefited from the program. Before Kenya Rapid, Fauzia and her family struggled.
Things were very, very difficult. The children used to get sick. We just relied on relief food, and it was hard to get even the relief food. Some of the children even, they used to die because of hunger.
Things began to change when Fauzia became part of a Kenya Rapid women's farming group. World Vision built greenhouses so the women could grow things they'd never grown before. They sell at the market, and people come right to their farm to buy.
It's important you wash your vegetables.
Jason Mwangi from the county government came alongside to provide support.
Yeah, the family 2 years ago, actually, they were not consuming vegetables. So when we started this project, and I trained them, they started consuming vegetables. But the most important thing, it is just a fantastic thing. Most of their young children, they're in school now. They are getting balanced diet.
Jason taught the women better ways to grow vegetables and how to market them. He taught them how to cook things they'd never tasted. In a time of drought, there is even enough food to feed their animals.
Here move, there move, everywhere move.
Here they are. They are producing for themselves. Like these tomatoes, they bought by their own money. The first one was provided by World Vision. Then immediately after that, they took over. So the county government came in, they provided with the water storage. It is just amazing, amazing. When you put the partnership together.
Now, 100 other farmers in the area are imitating the women's group with great success.
In fact, this project changed the face of this town. This can happen in Wajir. Yes, it can. It just requires passion and partnership.
This is the pipeline.
The women used to collect water from a shallow well using buckets. When the money started coming in, they paid a group of men to dig a trench to connect pipes to a borehole. Now, they have all the water they need, and they did it themselves. Life is better for families. Their children are healthy instead of being sick.
Okay, continue.
Fauzia's children excel at school.
2.
For Fauzia and her fellow farmers, even in a time of drought, life has changed. Lasting change that's come through strong partnerships. Change that's come fast. Best described in one word: rapid.
Climate change has become the new normal in the 21st century. Recurrent droughts with subsequent floods with resultant negative impacts in millions of dollars in terms of loss of lives, livelihoods, and hampered development. Wajir County, with a population of more than 6,100 people, is among the top water-scarce counties in the country, as depicted in a number of rampant recurrent droughts it has experienced in the recent past.
Climate change is very, very common. There is very rampant, I would say, incidences of droughts in the northern Kenya. The poverty rates is very high, and the food insecurity is high. The sanitation condition is poor.
We normally receive below 200 millimeters annually. That one is not sufficient for crop production. Source of water for irrigation is shallow wells.
In a land where songs about water had echoed for decades, a new story has been scripted by the ordinary farmers in Wajir. The Alimao Women Group.
Alimao Women Group was formed out of distress. When women were working, looking for pasture, looking for water, when they reached Alimao, they decided to settle at Alimao, and during the settlement, they thought of what they can do.
After we lost all our livestock to drought, we finally settled here and started doing farming after we joined the group.
After forming the group, they started doing some bands where they broadcast seedlings, and then the seedlings germinate. And because of the pesticides, they had no better option, but they used all mosquito nets to protect the pesticides, and also to kind of protect the excessive heat, so that when they are doing the watering, using the traditional way of buckets, the moisture content can be retained in the soil.
From the beginning, they had a shallow well, and this shallow well was not producing enough water, and the women were working in turns. Some of them working in the morning, others working in the evening, so that they could water the plants, as well as prevent the wildlife from entering into the farm and destroying and eating their crops.
Alimao villagers battled many decades of sparse rain and loss of livestock. However, 2 years ago, with support from RAPID program, the entire village came together to script a silent revolution by use of new technology.
Kenya Rapid came on board through our partner World Vision in Wajir. Not only did they get more support on technical issues, but what's happening now is that, as you can see, the shed nets behind me, the 3 of them were procured. The shed nets, they come with their water tank, the piping system, the drips, and all this.
As you can see, these are kales, really contributing to improvement of food security and nutrition, which is very, very key for people in northern Kenya, where the scarcity of water is very, very high, and where the food production is not commonly practiced because of the pastoralism lifestyle, livelihoods. And this particular women group, Alimao Women Group, are 17 women who are growing vegetables every day, harvesting vegetables, and actually generating about 3,000 every day from the market.
The women are actually producing now 4-folds more than what they were producing from the beginning. They are selling at a good price, and they're selling it at a very fast rate, because the sukuma and the spinach and the capsicum and tomatoes that are produced from here are very clean, very palatable, because they are not dry from the heat.
Absolutely clean from pest infestation or disease. And I understand, in the market, once they get into the market, within 10, 20 minutes, you know, their sukuma wiki is gone because everybody is interested with the high quality of sukuma wiki.
Despite the support given to this group, there are still some challenges they are experiencing. One of the challenges is that the place is not fenced, and so the wildlife which are coming at night trying to interfere with the crops.
The other biggest challenge we have in our partnership is that the counties we are focusing on are actually very, very big in terms of vastness.
The village still receives the same amount of scanty rainfall it used to get in the heart of its most trying years, but what has changed is the mindset and the attitude towards the management of the project. The world can learn that even in the middle of hopelessness, with a little effort, there will always be a silver lining on every dark cloud.
World Vision Kenya's WASH program started in 2011, and over those years we've managed to reach over 2 million people with access to safe water, sanitation and hygiene. In the areas of, let's say, Wajir, find that there is a big need for water, not only for drinking and food, but also for production of food.
Zamani tulikuwa tunatumia shallow wells. Ilikuwa hatari mtu anguke ndani. Isitoshe, shallow wells zilikuwanga open. Chafu inaangukia, maji haikuwa safi, diarrhea ilikuwa mingi sana. Baada ya hapo tumefanikiwa kupata hii project. Watu wamepata maji. Maji imekuja karibu hapo kwa bomba tu. Ile gharama, ile ugonjwa ya diarrhea, kuumwa na tumbo imekwisha.
Through that, we have realized the change and the shift even towards issues of health, where there has been improved nutrition in households.
Through the support of the County Department of Agriculture, we developed modern technology to introduce pastoralists into agro-pastoralism way of life, and we are using a technology called agronets that are adaptable to the high temperatures for the farmers to produce vegetable, to produce high-value crops, so that the children can get nutritious food. To reduce the cost of running boreholes, we have done hybrid solar systems that are now operating on solar systems and the generators. And we have done 14 boreholes are now operating with the solar hybrid system. And this has reduced the cost of operating boreholes significantly. We are focusing on replicable and scalable business models. And this is where we bring in a public and private partnership. In partnership with the county government, we were able to install the desalination system that is producing 20,000 liters a day. This has made life more easier for the residents of Wajir town.
One of the benefits of the public and private partnership, which we are very keen on, is the sustainability aspect of it. What I mean is that we are training local people in the operation of the system, maintenance of the system as well, and also teaching them the business model aspect of it. There are people who are buying water and are able to sell it at a better rate.
We have done this in line with the SDGs number 6, specifically 6.1 and 6.2, where we want to ensure that the communities have access to sustained clean water as well as safe sanitation in the communities.
the challenges that we face in the water sector in Kenya are not actually unique to only Kenya as a country, but if you look at the sub-Saharan Africa, Kenya has the third highest number of people that use contaminated water bodies. According to 2019 Water Sanitation and Hygiene Monitoring Report by World Health Organization and UNICEF, the number of people that had access to safe drinking water was only at 59%, while those that had access to safe and basic sanitation was only at 29%. We know that globally, the wash-related diseases are among the leading causes of death for children under 5. Through the leadership of Millennium Water Alliance in Kenya, USAID, the Swiss Development Corporation, private sector partners like Coca-Cola, Vito Foundation, Davies and Chatleaf, IBM Research, Sweet Sense, and Acacia Water, we are working together with Millennium Water Alliance members like CARE, Food for the Hungry, Catholic Relief Services, and World Vision in the northern part of Kenya, addressing the most basic access to water. We are contributing to improvement of access to safe water in these 5 counties. The 5 counties are Garissa, Isiolo, Marsabit, Wajir, and Turkana, as well as working with private sector partners to develop scalable and replicable business models using the market-driven systems, and working with communities, especially the elders. In Kenya, Millennium Water Alliance is leading a 5-year, $35.5 million program called Kenya Resilient Arid Lands Partnership for Integrated Development, coined Kenya Rapid, which is, according to USAID, a global development alliance, or in Kenya what we call public-private partnerships, that brings the USAID, the Swiss Development Corporation, private sector partners, MWA members like CARE, Catholic Relief Services, World Vision, and Food for the Hungry, convenes under the leadership of Millennium Water Alliance in the arid lands counties in northern Kenya. The program actually combines the assets and the experiences of development actors and private and public institutions at county and national level by leveraging their capital and investments, innovations, and access to market to address the complex problems in the water, sanitation, and hygiene sector that actually culminates in inadequate water access and poor governance of natural resources in the arid and semi-arid lands. Now, throughout these 5 years, we have worked with these communities to build their capacities towards journey to self-reliance, and so far, we have reached over 460,000 people, actually having surpassed the target of 450,000 people. As we look towards the next steps for Kenya Rapid, we want to ensure that we scale up the private sector models that have worked. We use market systems and we build the capacity of the local governments at national level and the county level to be able to drive their own national agenda.
World Vision Kenya's WASH program started in 2011, and over those years we've managed to reach over 2 million people with access to safe water, sanitation and hygiene. Through that, we have realized the change and the shift even towards issues of health, where there has been improved nutrition in households. In the areas of, let's say, Wajir, find that there is a big need for water, not only for drinking and food, but also for production of food.
And therefore, Kenya Rapid, through the support of the County Department of Agriculture, we developed modern technology to introduce pastoralists into agro-pastoralism way of life, and we are using a technology called agronets that are adaptable to the high temperatures for the farmers to produce vegetable, to produce high-value crops, so that the children can get nutritious food. The other key component on multiple use of water is that to reduce the cost of running boreholes, we have done hybrid solar systems that are now operating on solar systems and the generators. And we have done 14 boreholes are now operating with the solar hybrid system. And this has reduced the cost of operating boreholes significantly. Under strategic objective 2, we are focusing on replicable and scalable business models. And this is where we bring in a public and private partnership. In partnership with the county government, we were able to install the desalination system that is producing 20,000 liters a day. This has made life more easier for the residents of Wajir town.
One of the benefits of the public and private partnership, which we are very keen on, is the sustainability aspect of it. And our key role, apart from ensuring that the system is running, is to pass the technology to the local communities around and also establish the business model. By this, what I mean is that we are training local people in the operation of the system, maintenance of the system as well, and also teaching them the business model aspect of it. There are people who are buying water and are able to sell it at a better rate. By consuming this clean, hygiene drinking water, we are, in a way or indirectly, ensuring that people are saving money that they will have otherwise used to go to hospitals to seek medication.
We have done this in line with the SDGs number 6, specifically 6.1 and 6.2, where we want to ensure that the communities have access to sustained clean water as well as safe sanitation in the communities.
Yes.
Reduce the cost of water.
What is the outcome? maxaad qorteen meesha marka points inta aad ku qorayseen transfer is there for number 1. Then we have got also these ones. Outcome before for number 1. Yes. Access.
Group number
access
1.
to water for livestock and the crop production.
Group number 2, are you ready?
They want action.
Group number 2. Is group number 2 ready? Please get seated. Group number 3, are you ready? Okay, let's start with group number 1. Group number 1. Yes, please start your presentation. You have less than 4 minutes to give us your presentation. Hiya. Okay, welcome.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Ayan. So, according to Group 1, we came to conscience with the following. We agreed that access to water for livestock, crop production, and domestic use be our first priority, in that many people were able to access water due to availability, and which led to production of vegetation, and also it has increased sanitation, in that people are able to use domestic wise. Then the next item was availability of fresh foods in the market. Funny enough is that now you can try to imagine Wajir market is flooded by vegetables that they feel that they can export. So that was something it came during the discussion, and it shows an indication of more production is ongoing. And then the last one was the reduction in cost of drinking water. A good example that we were given by a brother here was in Dulgup, whereby they were using water tracking, and it was taking time for them to reach. But now they have their own borehole, which has led to reduction of the cost of drinking water. So the lesson learned for our access to water for livestock, crop production, and domestic use was that the myth that Wajir soil can never be suitable for vegetation has been betrayed, and now the community are agro-pastoralists. Now we can say we are from the pure pastoralist to agro-pastoralist, and then the use of modern technology, i.e. the solar panels, the solar energy, the climate smart technologies, private-public partnership model. We can also see a decline in conflict based on the resources such as water, reduced waterborne diseases, because now households can get water. The second item that we had ranked was availability of fresh foods in the market, and our best practice was that it is generating income, which is addressing the SDGs. The first, which is poverty, and we have improved skills because now our community can do irrigation. The last one, which was reduction in cost of drinking water, we said through the use of proven climate smart technologies, the reduce of water costs is seen by the community. So I think that was our input.
Thank you. Let's appreciate group number 1. As we move to group number 2, I would urge that everybody put on their mask, especially the person presenting and all the participants. And after use, please ensure that you do sanitization. There's a bottle there, and it's going to be provided for you to be able to sanitize your hand. So let's have group number 2.
Thank you very much. Presenting group number 2. And we have come to conclusion that number 1, it is the leading, the way it is in our chart. Number 2 still is our number 2, the reduction in the cost of drinking water. And the number 3 remains the number 3, the way it is. Then we are saying that what made number 1 to be successful, it is because of the coming together of the county government, the World Division, the food program, the RAPID, all those organizations. They have made our number 1 to be successful, and it is successful because of several things. The availability of water kiosk, that is the access to water. They have also helped a lot on drilling the bores, also using the solar panels. They have helped in doing the piping, and all these things have made number one successful. Then what can we learn? The lesson learned from the number one, it is due to the above. All what I have said there above, they have made us to learn these lessons. And the one, people have started farming due to the availability of this water within our county. Then there is the communities have come to the permanent settlement within where the water is accessible. Then there is availability of food and fresh food in the market. But as we were discussing, we have noted several things that have made it very hard for the food to be available. And the one, we have the experience of the drought, and the drought cannot sustain many of our crops that we plant within the Wajir because the drought is a bit longer. And we try to water the trees and the crops, and they are not doing very well. The other thing is about the soil. There is soil infertility, and it has led us to the low production of food. Number three, there is culture. There is that cultural practices. Many people in Wajir, they know how to take care of the animals, and they're not farming. So very low number is turning to farming. Then there is lack of training. If you go to the market or to the farming, they don't have how to do the farming. So they need a lot on training for that. There is poverty, and poverty has led for people not to farm because they cannot access what we are calling, they cannot purchase seeds, they cannot purchase fertilizers, and also when they do all these things, they cannot be able to know the type of the zinaitwa drugs ama pest whatever zile za kunyunyizia wadudu, because kuna wadudu wengi, and that is what we concluded with. Thank you very much.
Let's appreciate group number 2. Let's go to group number 3.
Thank you very much. I am representing group number 3. In our ranking, we have ranked number 1, access to water for livestock, crop production and domestic use. Because there has been increase in borehole all over. There are many water pads, and there are several shallow wells across the county providing more water for livestock, for crop production, and also for domestic use. So that ranks number 1. Number 2 is we have the reduction in the cost of drinking water. We have discussed, and across various parts, town and also other parts, even in the bullers, there has been an increase in water in the last like 5 years, and therefore the cost of buying water, because there is more available water, has gone down a bit. And even in the town, especially this water kiosk recently launched here, has been very useful, reducing the cost of drinking water for the people of Wajir as well as the people in other parts. But the levels are not very high. There will be need for more resources allocated in that area, and that is why we have ranked access to reduction on cost of drinking water as number 2. Number 3 is availability of fresh foods. It has been ranked the 3rd, and reason is because not many people have committed themselves to farming or doing small farms, kitchen gardens, and small farms in their compounds. Not many people have come to the idea that they can do some small farming. That is why still the levels of fresh foods in our markets are low. They are not as we would have expected. That's why it ranks number 3. Lesson learned on why we have highest ranking on water is the water which has been provided through shallow wells, boreholes, and water pads has been very useful to the communities. And that trade should be encouraged. Where there is no much water, the trade should be encouraged so that the people can be helped more. Lesson learned on little fresh foods in our markets. The reason why we have very little foods in our market is we learned that there has been little commitment by people here. They don't think that they can farm just like other parts of the country. But now commitment should start so that they can also, as long as there's some water here, or even rainwater, they can use that season to farm. So commitment. Number 2, there is sensitization on the need to do some farming has not been very high. So we also learned that it should be higher. And then the other lesson we learned is that many people have not understood the value of having their fresh produced foods. It carries more nutrients than food which has been imported from Nairobi, Meru, Isiolo, or other counties of Kenya. Thank you very much.
Can we appreciate group number 3? So as we wrap up, I would want to say that one greatest lesson learned by most of the groups, I mean the group number 1 and 2 and 3, they've all ranked outcome number 1 as the highest. That's the project, I mean that's the area that had the biggest impact. And one thing that they were all saying, all the group is saying, is the great impact made by all partners. The partnership from county government, from development partners, from the program is one of the things that they all appreciate. So partnership made the whole program to be great. So that is one of the things that all of you said. Tumesema the great partnership ndio kitu moja ya maana muliona, si ndio? So unakuta kwamba you can't do things alone. So the moment you have more partners come together, you have better program, better impact in the community, and we've all agreed on that, isn't it? Si tumekubaliana? Pia one greatest impact enye group number 1 said was the issue of the community myth that pastoralists in Wajir cannot do agriculture. So that myth Group number 1 articulated very well that you can grow food and even supply the neighboring counties. Kuna vegetables, we've seen the tomatoes, and that also brought a lot of improved nutrition. So the myth that agriculture cannot be done in pastoral areas is a myth. We've seen a workable program. Tumeona watu wanafanya agriculture na wanafaulu. Si ni kweli? For group number 3, I think on the issue of the project that was ranked the lowest, tumeona group number 2 said reduction of water for drinking as the lowest impact. But in all the others, tumeona kwamba that was also number 2. But what we learned most is that we can do community livelihood diversification. Si tumeona hatuwezi weka ng'ombe peke yake na mbuzi na ngamia, lakini pia tunaweza kuwa na vitu ya agriculture. The one that was ranked the lowest among all the group was the issue of having more training, especially on change of attitude, and to have more on agriculture. I think that was running across almost all the groups. And I think maybe in our future planning, we need to include the issue of community capacity enhancement or development on issue of agrobusiness. With that, I think we can now close the session. And we appreciate all the things that we've done. We appreciate ourselves. Ndio, tujishukuru, tujipigie makofi. Asanteni sana. We've seen the projects are working, things are working, you are learning more. And I think from this, the takeaway for NGOs, takeaway for county government, takeaway for our sponsors and development partners, including the private sector, I think we can pick from what the communities have already said. Thank you. Over to Jason.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tia, and I think we appreciate, once again, can we appreciate Honorable Tia and the team for those great discussions. Wonderful, asante sana. I think we want to move on to the next part of the session. And in this last part of the session, we want to listen to some very resourceful persons who have been involved in the program. I want to invite them to the platform and ask Bernard and Waziri to come this way so that I am joined now on the panel by Sam Kinyanjui, Managing Director of Borel. And then I will also, thanks Bonasias, I also ask Mohammed Osman, the MD. So thank you so much, Chairman. Thanks, Waziri, for your support. And we will be joined virtually by Dixon Ochieng. Dixon is the Director of Sanitation. This session is going to be an interesting one. I hope you do find it interesting. So we are going to do two things. Oh, by the way, before I go on, I saw Banafara, DCS. I had not seen him. I've seen him now. Is there any other CEC who joined us later, or Chief Officer? Just for me to recognize you, whoever. So, Karibu Banafara. Banafara is our Deputy County Secretary. Thank you so much. So this session is going to be a mix of, we are going to give an opportunity to three resource persons. Sam Kinyanjui is the Managing Director of Borel Light. He is going to present to us the investment that they have made in this as a private sector, perhaps give us a few tips on the journey he's walked, how difficult or how easy it has been, and what has been in it for business, so that we can see how best we can see we can explore such kind of partnerships going forward. Then Dixon Ochieng is an interesting partner as well for Kenya Rapid. Dixon is not on the Bore plant. He was involved in another PPP discussion with the county government and Wajir and Kenya Rapid for sanitation. The business that Doris was talking about, when Doris was saying there's a lot of business in the shit. And Dixon began with us the conversation on how to do business, and we failed to make progress. But I think Dixon has since made progress after that conversation. So with Dixon, we were not very successful. With some, we have been very successful. So we have these two resource persons who are going to give us their perspectives, what could have been, what has been done differently to make progress where they have made. And Mohammed Osman, the MD of Wajir, has been at the center of all this as the public entity that has been involved in this partnership. So because you know Wajir is a county government entity, and they provide the urban water for Wajir County, and they're also in charge of sewerage and sewerage services. So Osman is going to share with us what has been his experience in terms of these PPPs as part of the wider program of giving access, improving access to water and sanitation services, of course. So this is the nature of the panel, and we are extremely pleased to have both of them here. I'm going to give Sam the first opportunity to take us through, and Sam has a presentation, and then he will show us the plant. I think you will begin with the presentation first, and then he will show us the plant. And then we will get to Dixon, who will join us virtually, and then I will come to Bana Osman. So Sam, you can choose to talk from there or here. Maybe come from here. Is it better from here? Here. Okay, good. Sam, come over here. This one is better.
Thank you very much, Jason. The CS, Abdullahi Hassan. The county CEC for agriculture, Ahmed Sharif. All the CECs present. Members of the county government of Wajir present. Kenya Rapid team led by Doris. Millennium Water Alliance team. World Vision, all the distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Sam Kinyanjui. I'm very, very happy to be here today. It's indeed a great pleasure to have this forum, and more so to talk and present about our work and our progress so far. Let me first start by conveying our message of greetings from our team in Germany. Our company, Borelite, is mainly based in Germany, where the production and the design of the desalination system takes place. Here in Kenya, we operate under the name Water Kiosk Limited. So receive all the greetings from our German team. They are very happy and they are pleased. They are also following us online. And equally, they are our team in Nairobi as well. I want to begin with a presentation. There's a PowerPoint presentation. Yeah, thank you very much. As I said, Borelite is a company that is based in Germany and that has done the work that we see here, the desalination plant. The main driving factors and the main principles that drive the company is the challenges that we all know that we face. We have the issue of the low access to clean water. We have unreliability of that access. And the other issue is we have unsafe. It's unreliable, it's unsafe. Whatever is available, that water is also unsafe for consumption. And that has been a challenge to all of us, we know, especially in most parts of this country, and in various parts of Africa as well. We go to the next. Yeah, looking at the problem and what we have so far, there's an analysis of the cost of water from various sources. The amount there is written in dollars, for those who can be able to see. And you see the cost of drinking water, the amount of money that somebody has to pay to access that drinking water. from $5, and the most cheapest we have there is around $2. So that also poses another challenge, another problem. How many are able to access that clean drinking water? So that is a problem. On average, we are having $4. That is 400 shillings for a 20-liter jerrycan of clean drinking water, water that we say is safe for drinking. And therefore, we have the solution. And this is how Borelite was formed. Thinking of addressing those challenges, addressing those problems, making water more affordable, and making it more accessible and more reliable. So we have the solar water desalination. And one of the things that we work with as Borelite is adaptability. We see the sun there is providing our energy, our power for desalinating. One of the things that I want to highlight is, and this is actually known by the people in the water sector, the biggest cost of desalinating is power. And we know we have a challenge of accessibility of power in our country. Yeah. So being able to apply or being able to use renewable energy, being able to use sun for that matter, solar, PV, is able to bring that cost down. The second thing that we focus on, you see the hand there, is adaptability. We want to make our system, our desalination system, as more adaptable as possible to the most rural communities, to the most remote areas, such that any person in the remote area will be able to adapt, will be able to access, will be able to learn that technology. The principle behind that treatment is suitable for that remote place in Mandera, in Mombasa, in Turkana, in Wajir, not only here in town, but also looking at even the interior places of this country. The other thing we look at is affordability, and this is where now the issue of money comes in. Making that water as affordable as possible to reach as many people as possible in those remote places. So that is also a key factor for us as a company, and it's also a driving force that we want to make that water as affordable as we can. So we are talking about adaptability, we are talking about renewable, and we are talking about affordability. And this is now our focus, even going to the remote places. When we think about desalination here in Wajir, we are talking about reducing the cost per liter to less than 5 shillings per liter. That is mineral drinking water, quality hygiene drinking water. And that is, we are looking at the semi-urban, I will call that semi-urban application. When you go to even remote places, yeah, we have a system in Lamu, interior places. We try to make that water as cheap as 1 shilling per liter. And you're getting, if you're buying 1 shilling per liter, it means that you, for 20-liter jerrycan, you're able to get it at 20 shillings. Some places it's half a shilling per liter. So you're getting 20 liters at 10 shillings. And this is now what we call, service to the community, and also, making such a commodity as water as accessible as possible. Yeah, now going back to the same chart that we had earlier, now we have water kiosk added there. If you look at the last, there's water kiosk urban and there's water kiosk village. And those are the two areas that we are looking at. Depending on the surrounding, depending on the environment, depending on the economic status of a community, we are able to categorize a region either as urban or as a village. And the prices for both of them vary, so that we are able to address the needs of as many people as possible. And through water kiosks, we've been able to bring down the cost, as I said earlier, to below a shilling per liter. This is very important for us, and we all know the challenge when it comes to desalination and water projects. One of the biggest challenges is breakdowns and maintenance issues. There has been those projects that have been installed for, they run for 1-2 years. Then they start having issues of breakdown. You find the system was done. It's not operational for a year or 2 years. It's something that we are trying to address in a greater way through our designs. And we try to make it, you see the screwdriver there and the wrench, we try to make the maintenance cost as cheap as possible, such that a village person in a remote place could be able to do 80% of the maintenance work on that desalination system using those two items. And this is very critical because some places are very interior. Accessibility is also a challenge. And you find that if you are relying with sending a person, a technician from Nairobi, to a remote place in Turkana, it takes a long period. It's costly. If we are able to pass that technology to the local person, the local operator in a village, and we make him able to use those two tools, two basic tools, they are common, they are available everywhere, he's able to do 80% of the maintenance work, which is important to us and as a company. We are also looking beyond technology, because one of the things that we do in our systems is to add online monitoring. And by online monitoring is that we are able to monitor the system from either Nairobi and also in Germany. And the main reason for that is to minimize breakdowns as much as possible. The person in Nairobi monitoring a system should be able to detect any breakdown before even the operator knows. Through the online monitoring, we are able to know the quality of water that is coming from the system. We are able to know the amount of water, and we are able to know any deviation from the norm, from the standard, and therefore take early precaution before a major breakdown happens. And going forward and going even to the remote places is to provide even a trigger. You know, the moment there is the quality of water is changing, it gives a trigger to the operator and stops the system. And that is important to ensure that the water quality that the clients get, the quality of water that you're consuming, national training. You know, once in a while we have a forum to train and to motivate young people, boys and girls, so that we are able to pass this technology to them. We are going beyond what we have here, and this is what we are calling holistic approach. Water is still a scarce commodity, and therefore we want to make maximum use of what we have. When you desalinate borehole water, you get clean water on one hand, and then you also get the saline water, which we call the reject or the wastewater on the other hand. And you find in many cases you dispose, you throw away the saline water, the wastewater. We are going beyond and thinking about the holistic approach. How can we make use of that wastewater? How can we improve? How can we generate some income from that? In that slide, what you are seeing there, we're having a borehole, getting water to the water kiosk. You can see the label, water kiosk, with solar panels, everything 100% running on solar panels, including the lighting and the sterilization of the water. There is Wi-Fi there, and this is important for online monitoring and also providing Wi-Fi to the local communities in the villages. There's a mobile phone for transmitting of that data. To the right, there is what you see, bottled water, which is now the clean water, which is our key focus for that project. But then we're having a byproduct. And the byproduct is now the saline water, the reject water. So in our application, in our design, we are making use of that byproduct. You find the salinity of that product is not very bad to accommodate other uses, to accommodate fish farming, to accommodate a variety of crops. So we're having farming using drip. We're having also farming, urban farming. We're calling urban farming, where we are having vertical farms and horizontal farms, occupying very less space, very well manageable, especially when you're looking at what kind of soil do we have, what kind of space do we have, using vertical farm, and then we have the fish pond. In urban places, we are going beyond that to use it for sanitation, for flushing of toilets and the rest. So this is an important feature for us. We have applied it somewhere else, and we are keen and discussing with our partners, Wajir, about how we can upgrade, about how we can improve what we have here. Yeah, next. Yeah, I put that a few photos so that we can actually identify with some of our work. We not only here in Wajir. In the first one on the top left, you see our kiosk here in the first days of opening. Next to that is our initial project in Kitengela. This is 3 years back, and it has been a milestone as well in improving the lives of people there and providing cheap water as well, affordable, let me say affordable water for that matter, and clean, hygiene drinking water. We have, below on my right, we have a plant in Wasini Island. And that is also important for us because it was among the first plants. And what it is doing, it is desalinating seawater, water from the ocean. And you can imagine the salinity of that water. And salinity we measure in terms of ppm, what you call TDS. We are talking about 30,000 ppm. What we are looking here in Wajir is about 5,000, 6,000, 8,000 ppm. And being able to work with seawater and running on solar, getting water best quality than what we have on our table is an achievement, I may say. And it's something that we should also look for in adopting in our country, because we have a lot of that saline water. So it's a matter of being able to make use of that and get good products out of it. I talked about holistic approach. This is in Lamu Island, in Pate, in a village called Pate. And apart from having the water kiosk, we are going beyond that to having water for irrigation and providing water for kettles in that place and wastewater for the toilet. It's based in a school. So it's also an icon project for us. What you see, there's a blue icon where the water kiosk is. We're having a borehole running on solar as well. But now the wastewater is not disposed just like that. It is used for farming. And they've done, I think, 4 harvests of farming. And it's also changing the perception in the community. There was a comment about the issue of culture and what a certain community is used to, and this is also something that is changing. In Lamu, not many are used to farming, but after the second, third harvest, and people saying, okay, so this is possible, and it's great to see that kind of a change and an improvement in our society. The next slide is also an icon project for us in a place called Burani. This is in Kwale County. And we're having a water kiosk, and you see the solar panels on top of a mosque. And desalinating water, it's actually doing 30,000 liters per day in a village in Burani. Apart from that, the reject water goes to the fish farm. You can see the yellow icon with 3 ponds. Those are fish ponds. A week ago, they did a harvest from the 3 fish ponds. And it's unbelievable the amount of revenue they were able to generate from that. And it employs also 2 people to do that. Apart from employment on the water kiosk, it goes beyond now to employ for the fish farming. And then next to that is a vertical farm where you see a green icon. In a very small area, a 3 meter by 1 meter square, they're able to do 600 plants on a vertical farm. And then connecting that to a process called aquaponics, where the farm and the fish pond are mutually benefiting from each other. The waste from the fish is nutrients for the plants. And the carbon dioxide that is given out by the fish is taken up by the plant. So it provides a very good organic setup, no use of chemicals, no use of fertilizers for the plants, and the fish gets clean water because the water is cleaned by the plants. So it's something that we're also very keen on implementing, and in various parts of the country. Even in the dry parts of our country, we are very keen into that. Next. Yeah, I put that slide to show the electrical mobility that we've added into our setup. This is also important. we want to make, you remember our first slide, I said we want to make water as accessible to many people as possible. So we have our desalination plant at this point, but we want the water to reach as many people as possible. At the same time, doing it in a clean way. So we've come up with a partnership with Siemens, and they are producing electrical cargo bike. They are powered by solar. That bike there is powered by solar. It's able to carry 200 liters of water. And with one charge, having 2 batteries, it's able to do 60 kilometers. So we are adopting this and placing them in our water kiosks. So apart from people getting water from this water kiosk, we are able even to take water closer to them in a clean way and providing employment. The person who is doing that is assured of an income, and then more people are able to access that water from wherever they are. So this is a newest addition, and this is what you are seeing people there on the wall is a water kiosk in a place called Mtongwe. These are the coast after Likoni Ferry. And what we are doing there, we're also running on an ATM to access the number of hours that people get the clean water. But what is important is addition of this, and we are going to do this even in Wajir, to make sure that people get as more water closer to where they are in a clean and environmental friendly way. Now coming now to our plant, and I think this is also very, very important for me. I remember I put that page there showing the date that we did a pre-feasibility study for this particular plant. It was in August 2018. That was the first page of that report that brought about the implementation of this project. What you see on the map is part of that report under the pre-feasibility and showing the various places that we were looking at until the point that we settled on the Wajir minor site. So this is key when we try to remember and recall the milestones that we have on this project. We always remember where we started with a pre-feasibility study. And I think the beginning was a meeting in Nairobi, somewhere in Strathmore, with my partner called Dr. Ahmed Beheshti with a team in Millennium Water Alliance. And then it went until what we're having today, which we are very happy and proud of. Next. I wanted to say what we've had under this arrangement. This Wajir minor water kiosk is very, very important to us, being a first of its kind on our end. We've had water kiosks that we own purely as Borelite in Nairobi and in various parts of the country. We've had water kiosks that we've partnered with individuals, but this is the first one that we partnered with a public entity. So it also marks us, becomes a key one for us. Because, you know, the things that we go in, we are going as a first time. So we are learning in the process. We are learning as we go. And because of our strength between the public and the private, we are able to complement each other. And this is also very grateful to the MD of Wajiwasco, because the things they are good at, the issues of, when it comes to the issues of policy, when it comes now to their mandate, we are able to complement each other, you know, trying to fulfill up their mandate as well, the issues of policies, you know, all that. And our key issue as a private investor is to make sure that the system runs every day. Ideally, as a private partner, we are in for profit. But we do it in a way that we also provide a service to the client, the end user, the community. So the fact that we are in for profit is to make sure that the system does not stall. 1 year, 2 years, the lifetime of a project is running. Of course, the revenue generation is key. We are able to achieve that in a very good way here. Creation of employment, I talked about this. We have 2 staff working there. We have a security person, and then we're having now the indirect impact on that. And then the offering of hygiene, affordable water, which is the key item above the system. In numbers, we've been here for 8 months, and it's unbelievable the kind of impact that it has had. Over that period, we've been able to dispense close to 1 million liters of clean, hygiene drinking water. And this is important. You can imagine what kind of population has been impacted by that. And not only this population, but indirectly. You know, you take hygiene drinking water, your health is assured, you save on money that you'll have used for medication, you are saving your future, you know, and even some, you know, components, contaminants that are in water, in underground water, they have effect in future. You know, you took water earlier at your age, then the impact will be felt much, much later. You can imagine the ripple effect on that. So we are very proud of that, and of course the issue of employment as well. And I think that's something that we should be proud of and give applause for such an achievement. Yeah, thank you very much. Next. I brought in this to show now that we've had this experience of PPP. What's the way forward? As a company, we are having a program that we had to install 40 of these systems in the year 2020. Of course, there was the impact of the COVID pandemic, so that will not be achievable as yet, but we'll be able to do half of this. And we have had experience with this desalination here. We'll be very, very proud to have most of those systems here in Wajir and impacting the people of Wajir. So as we go forward, we say we are having those systems already, and we are willing and ready to implement and upscale the projects. That's the arrangement that we're having, and getting about more into carbon credits. We're having the financier, then the implementation partners is Water Kiosk and Borelite. Water Kiosk is now what is operating in Kenya as Borelite. Next slide. This is some icons showing the indication of the areas that we are targeting in Kenya with those 40 systems. We are doing 20 of them by end of December. And our interest and our prayer is to have most of them here in Wajir. We've already allocated 5 of them, so we hope that it comes to pass, it comes to be implemented. And apart from that, we're also looking at various parts of the country. That marks the last slide on my presentation.
Thank you. I think some will now move over there to... Okay, so you can walk over there as we... I think there's a camera person there who will be following you, so just go straight. Mohammed, you want to go with Sam?
Yeah, no problem.
Please. And I want to invite the CS also to join the team. The rest we can remain so that we can, they can, and I think if you are in the virtual audience, this is really for the virtual audience benefit to help them see what we are seeing. The rest of the communities who drink water from here every day know the story of the investment. And we want you to have a feel of what the plant looks like in the next few 10 minutes or so, and then we will get back to the plenary. So those who are here, you can give us just a few 10 minutes, and some will explain to the whole audience what they have.
All running by solar. So we're having water coming from the borehole and to a storage tank, what we call the raw water tank, behind the system here. Then from the raw water tank, now the water gets into the system, which I welcome you to come with me. Yeah, so this is the entire setup for the water kiosk and the desalination system. It's employing all the processes required for a desalination plant, from the pre-filtration to the desalination section and to sterilization. What is important is in our setup, we don't use chemicals, so we minimize use of chemicals for 2 reasons. That is reduction of running cost,
And the second thing is, you know, for, you know, the operator does not have a hard time in terms of controlling the chemicals. So from the raw water tank, the water comes through a meter here. And as I said earlier, the meter is also monitored. It's also connected remotely. So you're able to know the quality of water, the amount of water coming in. And is pumped in through this pump into the pre-filters. These are the pre-filters. We're having the sand filter and the carbon filter. The sand filter is able to trap all the physical particles, the sand particles that are in the water. They're able to be trapped here. The carbon filter is also removes the smell, the odor in the water, makes water the odorless, and also removes any free chlorine that may go to the membrane. So from here, the water comes into these other compartments, which are also very important. Any small particles that went through this too is able to be trapped into here before the water goes to the desalination system. One of the things also to note, after now the removal of those small particles, the water is passed through a UV sterilizer. The essence for that is to remove viral and bacterial infection in the water and minimizes the growth of algae in the membranes. Just to make sure that the quality of water is improved at every stage. We are getting better and better quality of that water. And then now from here, it is pushed through this pump at high pressure into these 4 white vessels. And these are the ones that house the membranes. And the purpose for the membranes is now to remove all the salts, or what we call the underground salts, the unwanted chemicals in the water are removed through the membranes. From there, now the water is pumped to another clean water tank. And then from the clean water tank, it comes through this pipe to another UV before it is dispensed. And that is important, is to make sure that the water that is being dispensed by the taps there is free of any contamination, is free of any viral or bacterial infection. And now the clients are able to get water from outside through that point. On the dashboard, we are having the controls for it, running from the main switch to the emergency switch, very simple to operate, and the operator just runs on the automatic switch alone. And then the entire system is running on solar. The batteries are provided for the online monitoring, just to make sure that it's monitored throughout for 24 hours. And we're having our staff here. We're having Kevin and Hassan as our operators.
Sam, is that it? Can we see the dispensing taps outside?
Hassan and Kevin and Hassan. They're not engineers. We've trained them. Yeah, we trained them locally here, and we are able to pass. They're actually able to run and maintain basic maintenance using the simple tools here. Yeah, and they are local. We always take local people for that. Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, good. Thank you. Let's give a clap to that. A good job, and as Sam walks back, I think. So that is the first case, and then I want to welcome back Sam. Thank you so much for that show of the investment you have made. There are things I didn't know. I've now known that I think are very exciting to hear, and the technology for the bicycle and so on. We can't wait to see the full package. I want to invite Dixon. So that is case 1. Case 2, I want to invite Dixon, and please, if you are in the virtual audience, you can note down your question. You can ask us on chat box, but also you can write it down, and in the next few minutes, we'll open the floor for question and answer, as well as those who are here, you can also ask any questions. So in the next 5 or so minutes, I want to give Dixon about 5 minutes or less. Dixon, is he on... I hope Dixon is unmuted and we can see him on. Thank you. There you go. Thank you, Dixon. Dixon, I don't know where he is. Dixon, are you in Naivasha? Where are you?
I'm live from Naivasha.
Naivasha, good. Wonderful. So Dixon was able to talk to our MCS from here who wanted to have a conversations around the partnership on the sanitation component for urban waste management. Dixon, we were not very lucky for Kenya Rapid when we began that conversation, but I'm glad that you have made progress. What is your quick reflection about what you might have done differently that has made you make some little progress on that partnership with the county, with Wajir, I believe, isn't it? With Wajir. Could you just share a few of your perspectives?
Great. Thank you, everyone, and good afternoon. I'm really privileged and honored to be part of this amazing program and event in Wajir. I want to first acknowledge the county executive, the county legislature, the national legislature represented, and also the leadership of the Kenya Rapid program, and also Millennium Water Alliance, and also USAID and World Vision. I want to say I would have loved to be there in person because I love Wajir and I love the people of Wajir. They are really good people and the leadership is really progressive. I'll be quick just to provide an insight of sanitation, and then I provide a short journey that led us to start working in Wajir. Sanitation, we are a social enterprise. That means we are a private sanitation company. We are based here in Naivasha, Nakuru County, and for the past 6 years, we've been working in partnership closely with Nakuru County and the local water utility in Naivasha, Naivawasco, to try support them into providing the sanitation services, and on that is majorly on on-site sanitation, starting to work with them on how to figure out how we can make sure that the fecal sludge in the community is safely managed. And through that, we've been able to design, build, and now we are operating a waste-to-value treatment plant that intake fecal sludge from pit latrines, septic tanks, and transform it into a biomass fuel. That again, we are selling into industrial boilers like KTDF, pharmacies, Pawani oil, as an alternative to the traditional firewood. What we are trying to showcase to water utilities and county governments is that sanitation can be solved using a business model that can provide a revenue stream that can be able to cover the operation cost, which will now enable scale that to be scaled into other counties and into bigger areas. And that's what we've been working closely with Nakuru County and the water utility in Naivasha. Back to your question, Oyugis, about our journey in Wajir. Yes, we started this engagement together with the Kenya Rapid program with my friend Ken way back, I think 3 years ago. And when we started looking at Wajir, we saw Wajir just as other counties in Kenya, which are struggling with the big challenge of managing sanitation. Because you look at the water utilities, they have two mandates. One is to provide water. The second one, to the counties that are lucky, also to provide the sewerage services. And then now you look at the Ministry of Water embracing the sanitation component, you have again the sanitation mandate. The utilities have not been able to 100% do the first two mandates. And now with the sanitation, that's where they need the public-private partnership. They need the private sector to come together with the innovation. I think I've been so much impressed this morning to hear some of the innovation that have been employed in Wajir to ensure the communities enjoy the services they deserve. And this is the only way that we can look into meeting the SDG goals. The government cannot do this through the traditional ways. And that is what drove our engagement when we started discussing this with Kenya Rapid 3 years ago, was how can sanitation be able to step into Wajir and try to do the work that we were doing in Naivasha. And I can be honest, and I like Doris because she was honest, the conversation did not go far. I think we tried to engage and we are all passionate about making this work. But I think I'll point two challenges that maybe made it us not to be successful. And the first challenge I'll say is the framework of partnership. I know when we talk about public-private partnership, The 3 Ps look like simple. You just come in as a private utility, being approached by a private utility, and together they figure out a partnership. But it's not as easy as it may look. The 3rd P of partnership is really complex. If you look at the Public Act, it doesn't make it easy for small companies to partner with the government. It's really complex process that makes it difficult. And we try to look together on how we could safely go to Wajir, because when you look at us as a private company, the money that we are looking at for putting the infrastructure, we want them to come from loans, and also we have funders. These funders need surety of their money, and the best way they can get that surety is having a legal partnership mechanism. So without that, it's really made us difficult to convince funders to commit their funds for us to go expand our work in Wajir. And then I think the second thing was also trying to convince pulling funds together from different funders. I know there are already programs ongoing in Wajir, which I think I'll say was hard to make funders with different obligations to commit into one course. And I think Doris said this. I think as funders sometimes also need to have review some of their goals, some of their targets, in order to consider working together with other partners to make the impact bigger. So we were not successful with the Kenya Rapid program, but luckily also we are still really fully committed into working in Wajir, because we really felt the problem the Wajir people are facing in terms of sanitation was something that we were able to support them into making it better from the technology and the work we had done in Naivasha. So we engaged through one of the funding group that we worked with them here in Naivasha, Nakuru County, the World Bank, because they also were looking into doing some work in Wajir, and they were supporting the county in a number of different programs. And one component of their funding was sanitation. And because we had worked together here in Naivasha, they proposed or they told the county and the water utility to start looking into possibility of working together. And I'm lucky to say that this journey has not been easy. I just want to recognize some of the people who have played part in this. I had my good friend Kato is in the room, the public health officer. We've worked together. The town manager Nasiri, I know maybe is watching or also in the room, and also the new MD that came almost a year or plus ago, but he has really been supportive of the whole process in making sure that we can still be able to go through the required World Bank procurement process and the county procurement process. And I'm lucky to announce that 3 months ago, we were able to secure a contract from the water utility to Wajiwasko to support them into building their capacity on the night soil program. And we are really passionate and looking forward into making that work move on.
Thank you. Let's give a clap to Dixon. Dixon, that was a powerful statement at the end there with that announcement. I'm happy that the progress has been made, and we are looking forward to the experience to continue documenting that. And I think that will be exciting for everyone, from the town management to the county government and the rest. Bwana Mohamed Osman, I want to get back to you. You are here. You have walked the journey with Borel. You are walking the journey with Dixon and the team in Sanivation. What has been your experience as Wajiwasko, as a public entity, the public entity who has been working with both these? Do you see these as promising cases of helping the county government to solve, our sanitation, water and sanitation challenges in the county? What has been your experience? Thank you.
Thank you very much. First, I would like to thank all the participants, starting with our County Secretary, who has made it possible for this function to happen. He has been doing all the coordination day and night, which became very successful. The journey was long and difficult at the beginning. To start with, people could not even differentiate between public-private partnership and surrendering the whole project to outsourcing it to other entities. So they were more thinking of privatization of this project, and they will always ask me, why have you surrendered this project to Boril and then the Sanitation and other entities? To begin with, at the background, we know Wajir has saline water, which dated years back, and it was the manifesto of the governor to provide affordable, potable water within Wajir in his very first years within his term. And he challenged us that the cost of potable, safe drinking water is expensive, and we should be having a plant within Wajir town and its environs. And we tried our own at the beginning. We did not engage even Boril. We did not engage any other sector or actor. We tried as a Wajir Wasco to establish a plant. We did it in a place called the Sheikh and a place called Burmio. But it did not succeed. You know, we thought that we were experts on it. We thought that we could do it alone, but with the challenges and everything, it could not work. That's the time we started now approaching the PPP model. And to be very, we are happy about it because in the model itself, it has different models within the PPP model. And with us and Boril, it is the build, operate, and transfer concession where they have put up the infrastructure on a, we share the capital on a 50-50 base. They will be operating on behalf of the Wajir Wasco and themselves. And at the end, a period of 8 years, they will transfer it to Wajir Water and Sewerage Company. So we are glad that this will be an asset of county government of Wajir through Wajir Water and Sewerage Company at the end of 8 years. And it has helped us in terms of the economic growth because now we are generating revenue on a 50-50% share, and it has minimized non-revenue water because that's where we lose many of our waters. And Boril is an expert on it, and they, within their model, they have shown how they have used and how even they intend to use the waste water that is not fit for human consumption. In this journey, it has also opened other opportunities for us because there are other companies, there are other private sectors trying to approach us on different set of businesses. For instance, there are companies coming to us who will want to have a PPP on toilets within Wajir town on the same modalities that we have with Boril. So it has an open opportunity, it has an open market for us that we can now engage with other sectors. They have confidence in us because of the success stories that is coming out from this plant. So, and the new technology as well has brought many ideas to us, and we have learned a lot from this plant that we never had it. They have trained some of our staff on basic things that will become an institutional memory to our organization, will become part and parcel for us for years coming. When Boril is not there, when Kenya Rapid is not there, when anyone is not there, there are lessons, there are skills that we have learned from this project. So most important was that we fulfilled key promise of His Excellency the Governor of Wajir, providing affordable potable water within Wajir, because there is this myth as well. Because of the salinity of this water, there are many diseases such as cancers, although it's not scientifically proven, but we believe contribute majorly to the ailing society. I mean, it's contributing a lot. So it has helped us. And when Sam did his presentation, I mean, I was so happy to learn that at least we have used 1 million liters of water, not for washing, not for farming, not for irrigation, but has been consumed by human beings. That is, I mean, something to be happy about it. Knowing that even for us in Wajir, we don't drink that much water. So it's something that we can say that we have achieved. much has been said. The only thing we want is to complete this holistic approach, whereby we can have the fish pond here, we can have the irrigation here. So my only appeal now is to the county secretary and the CEC agriculture, because I know in their budget they have a fish pond in the year, this financial year. If we can have it here in this compound, so that we can have a model, will be much better for us. We'll set up the irrigation so that if we have visitors, if people are coming to Wajir, we can have all them here at Wajir minor, this compound, where we have the plant, we have the irrigation, we have the fish pond, we have everything. So it is, you know, it's like those are the good part of it. But also we had, to say the truth, negotiating with a private partner was not easy. It took time, long hours. There were consultation, agreeing, disagreeing, which you know, delayed the whole project. So that is the only challenge so far that I can remember. Sometimes we disagree, but the good part is we have an arbitration team, including the World Vision were there. Then we resolve it amicably within shortest time possible. So this model should be replicated in other departments within the county government. That's my take. And we are glad that Kenya Rapid was there for Wajir Wasco from the beginning till now. We are also having this talk with Sanitation. Now they are doing consultancy for us. But we are in talks so that we can have this PPP in terms of what Doris said, the other business she mentioned, the gold she mentioned. So without taking much time, thank you very much.
Excellent, excellent. I think I love that, and that really is an encouraging message from the public entity talking about the confidence and the lessons that have been learned. I'm just looking at the comments. Please, if you have a question, first I will begin with the virtual audience, and then I will come here. I can see there are comments from Egesa. I can see Egesa talking about the need to scale up the desalination system in the county. Jackson McKenye, Concern Worldwide, thank you for the exciting presentation. The model of the PPP is amazing for partners learning. I can see the comment from Roy, the one, kudos to Borel for taking the investment risk. That is an interesting one. Wajir Wasco also for supporting the opportunity. And then who else is talking? Yeah, I think they're quite good comments. I don't know if there is there any hand up on the virtual audience? Let me see. I cannot see any yet. I can't see any hand that's up on the virtual audience. Anybody who has a question on our virtual audience, I will ask our team to unmute you so that you can go ahead and ask. I'm trying to. Okay. No, I don't see any yet. Any questions here? Oh yes, Waziri Yusuf, you want to go first? Where is? Okay, I'll give Waziri this microphone.
Yeah. My question goes to sanitation. Yeah, he mentioned that he did the feasibility 3 years ago, but something went wrong. So we want to know where we have gone wrong, and we want to see where we are now. Has that problem been fixed? And is it possible to include this into the NEDI program, the World Bank program, if we have challenges in funding? My second question is Boril, goes to Boril. Yeah? In the next kiosks or the planned kiosks, can we have one kiosk dedicated to bottling water so that we can have our mothers vending water? I mean, the milk vendors can also be selling water on the long side. Let's say half a liter water goes for between 20 to 25 in Wajir. So can we have this same bottle going for 10 shillings or less, where a mother who is selling milk can also sell water at 5 shillings or less than 10 shillings.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the boreal water. Do we have some labeling? Can we know what minerals are there? What is the composition of the water? Because we normally say our water is very saline, but we actually don't know the content. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Waziri. I hope Sam, you're taking notes. I will go to DCS Farah over there, and then I come at the back there, yes. Again, anybody in the virtual audience, you can raise your hand. I will look at the screen as we go. Bona DCS.
Well, thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. Mine is one. I just wanted to find out what was the cost of putting up this plant. 2, from the past experience now, how long might it take us to recoup the cost of putting up the plant? 3, is there any room for expansion of the same facilities? I'm told it can do 20,000 liters per day, but can we really, is there room for increasing that capacity? Maybe those are the questions that I'm asking.
Excellent, thank you. And then I will go to the back. There is a hand there. Yes. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for the wonderful presentations. My question goes to Sam. Sam did indicate that the chemical levels being used in the water is very low. But I'm just concerned, how safe are the chemicals being used for human consumption? In other words, how safe is that water owing to the fact that there are few chemicals being used? And so that there are no side effects and other diseases in the body. Number 2, now that you indicated that there are sensors being put in the borehole to ensure you are monitoring the water levels, how long does how long could our water last us? Or maybe in the middle of the process the water could be less. Does our water have the capacity to last for a long time, or there might be a shortage within a short time?
Okay, thank you. I can see a question on, you'll take the microphone at the back there for the last question. I can see a question on the chat box for Martin Mulongo is asking, what should development partners and the government do differently to address challenges in the northern Kenya to help us, have more partnerships like this? And what can motivate private sector players to set up shop in northern Kenya? Any of you could take that. But before that hand, I want to ask Jackson. I think I've seen Jackson on the Zoom. Before I take the last question there, Jackson on Zoom, can you ask your question? Yeah. Can you open your... Yes, go ahead, Jackson.
Thank you, Jason, and thank you all the speakers for the good presentations. As a civil society, or I can say NGOs, we try to run and support communities, or rather supplement the government efforts in supporting communities to have clean water at their localities. And there are a variety of boreholes at those localities that we hope that this PPP model or this desalination model will help those communities have better and clean water. So from the experience of the implementing team, I was trying to see what advice can you give partners like us to be able to have better fundraising efforts, or include such initiatives as part of our fundraising efforts to be able to provide water or support communities to have better cleaning water. And my second question is around the management of the water committees. In the past, we tried, of course, to train these committees on governance issues, but it's not been an easy ride. So maybe what is the experience in setting up and working with the 15 communities mentioned through the presentations? Thank you.
Thank you, excellent. Then the last question will be from here at the back there.
Yeah, mine will be, you see that there are two types of water, the clean water for consumption and the saline water disposed. But now that we don't have the use, because we don't have fish pond, we don't have crops growing anywhere around here, how do we dispose that water? Does it go back to the well, or how do you dispose safely so that it does not bring any environmental negative impact, like breeding, something like that? And the other one is, you know, most of Wajir, we operate under our water system. We depend water boreholes. And these boreholes have water user associations. The water user associations, governance level, although they are trained and retrained, where they are very poor in governance, where revenue earned from the boreholes, whatever levy they charge the animal owners, the pastoralists, there, it is mismanaged. And I think the government have tried water on water, because this thing has been given to the community level. They are the ones who are taking care of the resources. And this community, you know, they are Kenyans. And then whatever is up there is also there, down level. So my fear is, once you hand over such a very good project, I'm fearing it might be killed and slaughtered, and the meat sold at the butchers. So my appeal is, with Jawasco, whoever will be there, you know, over the time, by the time this project is handed over, let it live long. That is my advice. The other one is, what plan do you have? Because most of this county, our county, they are very high yielding boreholes with the saline water, where now the community there buy water from water boozers, or they buy from commercial entity, because the people who transport water to the places where, to the center, and they have underground tank. So what they do is, they hire a water boozer for human consumption, and then, so they sell that water at retail price, just like selling a sugar or rice, of which the saline water at the bowl is used by the livestock, but the human cannot use. So what they do, they buy that fresh water from either from Wajir or from any other fresh water borehole. So the water at some places in our county is very expensive. So are you planning as Boril to also partner with the county government so that you choose also these areas, which are also urban areas, and have got the high yielding boreholes? Can our community be assisted by Boril to you know, expand the project to the other areas within the county?
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. I think those are many questions. Some of them are straightforward. Some of them are questions for us to reflect on, even as partners, and might not have straightforward answers even from Wajiwasco. But I want to give you some, the technical ones. Perhaps you can begin with those straightforward ones, and then, Mohammed, you will take the others. Sam.
Thank you very much. Okay. I'll start with the question about the bottling, the possibilities of doing a bottling plant. I'll say it's possible to do that. We've had a discussion with our partner, who is Wajiwasco, to scale it up to that. But then at this stage, I can say we've had a good relationship. So discussing further that is easier. Of course, there are more requirements for that, but it's something that we are open to discussing. Having more plants in Wajir, that is a straight yes, we are ready for that. The other question was on the cost of this particular plant, and I'll say that the cost of various plants varies, and it depends with the quality of water. The more saline the water is, the higher the cost will be. And that varies a bit. You may have two close boreholes, but the salinity are different, so the cost will also be different. And the cost will vary between $80,000 to $90,000 for a complete installed plant. When you talked about room of expansion, the system generates 20,000 liters per day. And by per day, we are saying it's running on solar. It doesn't have power storage. So it means it is producing only when there is solar radiation. For more output, it can run on other sources of power. It can run on the grid. It can run on generator at night. So when need be, there is a possibility of each generating more. But one of our key factors is to use renewable energy. So that's also a thing to consider. So in terms of production, it's possible to produce more per day. The other question was on chemical levels. I want to say this on that particular point, is that we have authorities and analysis monitoring of the water frequently. We also have results of that analysis, which is open to the public. Some of them are displayed there. And they're showing the analysis of water before the treatment, and then after treatment, and then it is done regularly. After every 3 months, there's a lab analysis for that effect. And so far, we are assured of the quality of water that we dispense. Not only for this plant, but also as our procedure. We also take the key parameters of the quality of water on hourly basis. They are key indicators, like the salinity level, that we have a meter that the operator monitors on hourly basis. So that is a key factor that we monitor. And you know water is sensitive. Before you give water to the public, you need to know what quality of water you're doing. So it's something that we are very keen and very particular on. The issue of use of chemicals, and I think this I want to clarify better. There is the process of disinfecting the water. And you may use chlorine to disinfect. You may use ozone. You may use UV. All those are technologies that are available. What happens when you use chlorine is that depending on various seasons of the year, the dosage rates are supposed to be varied. So it's something that should be monitored closely. So to eliminate that, we prefer using the other options. Also to remove on the running cost. You know, if you have a plant in interior village in Mandera, and you need to send chlorine from Nairobi, it means now it brings in another cost issue and a logistical issue as well. So instead of that, we've added a series of UV sterilization, and we even sterilize at the point of dispensing the water. On top of that, you know, the also issue of the monitoring it. We are able to monitor remotely. And the other thing is that we don't store our water. What we dispense today is treated that particular day. So what you get tomorrow will be treated that particular tomorrow. Any remainder of the treated water for today is redone again tomorrow, just to make sure that the issue of contamination is done away with, and the quality of water getting to the consumer is good. So I repeat that the quality of water is very safe for human consumption. I think the other thing I need to address was, there was a question about having more systems where there are more producing boreholes. And I think the only thing that we are keen on is also the financial viability of the project. Even if we want to go to a certain village, we also consider how viable is it. What is the buying power of that village? What will be the cost of water as well, so that it also repays the running and the payback period of the project is viable. So as far as we also want to go to those villages, it will also be a factor to consider.
Okay, thank you, Sam. I know we want to take a break for prayer, so I'm going to be rushing because I want to finish just before 1. Mohammed, 1 minute in terms of what we could do differently, either as development partners or government, to facilitate this kind of partnerships. Any reflection on that?
Thank you so much. The question that was asked is a very good one, which probably I will, it needs an open discussion, because it's It talks about fundraising in future and all the modalities we can use. But this has proven to be very successful, and probably having a team that can sit down and come up with a good concepts in terms of how to fundraise for such a project will be much appreciated and welcomed, because I think it needs a deep research. It needs a deep thought about it. It needs brains coming together and coming up with. But if it's a question like, is it viable? Is it good? It is. But how now to fundraise and come up with how to package it? I think it needs to bringing up together many brains so that we can sit and come up with good ideas.
Excellent, that's good. And certainly a journey that Wajir County has already begun to walk, and we will be looking for at the county to give lessons to other counties as well. I think I want to take 1 minute to highlight just 5 things that have emerged from the session before I give Martin Mulongo. Martin Mulongo, please stand by to give your closing remarks. Number one, from the discussions with the communities, I think one of the things that the messages that came out very clearly was in terms of, number one, the power of partnership. I think that was very clear in terms of what we need to be doing in order to make successes staying, at the question he was asking over there. Agropastoralism in Wajir is no longer a myth, and it is possible that we can do things differently to improve impacts. And that's why I think we were all excited to hear about this Department of Agriculture, Livestock, and Alternative Livelihoods. I think that reflects some of the new direction thinking of looking at options. Number 3 is community training and capacity development on agro-businesses to increase productivity. But I think, as he mentioned right there, sometimes training is not the only solution. And I think putting too much faith in training needs a little bit more thought, so that we can get to the underlying causes of why, whether it is agropastoralism, agro-business, or water governance, why training doesn't take us there. We need to think a bit more than just training. I think this last session has revealed the need for capacity and literacy among decision makers on what are even just PPPs. Sometimes, as Mohammed said, there is opposition because of a misunderstanding of what it is not privatization, and that there is a public interest that can be met with private companies, and that is part of meeting the development challenges that we have. Exploring models that protect public interest, such as this one, which is build, own, operate, and transfer. I think those are good. And then the idea around opportunities from other companies and giving confidence to other private sectors players to come and work with the county government. I think what the county government has demonstrated is that we are ready for partnership, and that readiness can spill over to trade, to agriculture, to cooperatives, to other urban waste management, and so on, which I think are all new opportunities that are opened by measures like this. So thank you so much for those highlights. I want to ask Martin to give a vote of thanks. Martin is from USAID, and he's going to speak virtually. Martin, you stand between us and prayers. So be smart as you give your vote of thanks. Martin.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Thank you, Jason, and colleagues, friends. I just want to say thank you so much for the time that you have dedicated into this event. The lessons learned, there are lots of good things coming out of Wajir. Some of us will have been curtailed, we have not been able to go to Wajir, but seeing all this coming out and the challenges, and it's a privilege and honor for us. So I just want to say thank you to the team that has been organizing. Thank you to the county. I think Jason, your team, Kenya Rapid, led by Doris herself, we call her Mama Cho, Mama Maji. Yes, thank you so much for the wonderful leadership, and of course World Vision, being a Christian organization but working in an Islamic area. that shows how commitment and diplomatic in this world of development. So, friends, the journey has started. How many years down the line, this project should be doing better, should have gone to scale. Yeah, so on behalf of Doreen, who is here, we are just so grateful and say thank you so much, and we ask you to keep up with the good work. Over to you back, Jason. Thank you.
Thank you, asante, tumpigie makofi na sisi pia tumesema tumeshukuru. Thank you for all our virtual participants. I cannot be more grateful to Bana CS, very patient, and I always like his energy and spirit. I learn a lot from you, the way you work. I love the approach, his approach to work. We really appreciate your support and leadership. DCS, Farah, we are happy with your support as well. CCs who have been here throughout, Yusuf and the other Yusuf, and of course, MD, Mohammed, Sam, and your time. Community representatives, tumeshukuru sana, asanteni. I hope you have also got time to learn. Sindio? So thank you so much, everyone. I think with this, we want to come to a close, and I wish you well. We thank you for your time, na tutaonana Mungu akijaliwa. Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. Lunch, we also have lunch after prayer. We have lunch there, right? Over where we had breakfast, we will have lunch there. So don't go away too quickly. Baada ya maombi tafadhali, karibuni lunch. Asanteni sana.